Welcome back. Teammates have problems coming off of turn number 2, it looks like. That's Dennis Setzer in the 46 and Johnny Benson in the 95. This is the first incident we have seen since Speed Week started for the trucks.
I would be shocked if these two caused this.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're in.
Go on the racetrack.
See Ron Hornaday right behind Johnny Benson. That's the 33 truck of Ron Hornaday. He splits, goes in the middle, and just touches Johnny and turns him right down in front of his teammate Dennis Setzer.
Now why? 3 wide?
Yeah, coming off of turn 2, trying to make it 3 wide.
Johnny does a great job not getting into the outside wall.
A lot of damage to the door, the driver's side door of this race truck.
There's a nudge right there.
You're going to be 3 wide tonight, we know, or tomorrow night, excuse me, you know, but that seemed a little bit aggressive for...
Was there actual contact between Hornaday and Johnny?
There was definitely contact, yes. Yeah, he got into the left rear corner of Johnny, and that turned him around right in front of his teammate Dennis Setzer in the 46 truck.
Take another look. This is Ron Hornaday in the 33 coming up on the 95.
There's room right there to get in, but
it narrows up a little bit. They're coming up off of 2, and that's exactly where that happened.
Yeah, you got to. Johnny had to turn left. Wasn't anything Johnny could do about that. Ron just was a little over aggressive from where I sat.
Take one more look. This is coming out of turn 2. Just slight contact with the 95, but again, going that fast and taking the air off the spoiler as well.
That's all it takes, but that was the contact. That was induced by the contact. That wasn't an air situation at all.
Yeah.
But, you know, the closure rate is so fast with these trucks, and that may have been a situation. You have to be ready with that left foot on the brake, don't you, Michael, at all times, because you get sucked up into these other trucks so easily. You have to ride that brake a lot.
Hands of Jason White, green flag in the air. We're underway with the Truck Series 2010 season.
Already pushing and shoving, Phil. Ricky Carmichael gets a good run on the start here and gives Elliott Sadler a shove down into turn 1.
That 3 Chevrolets ganging up on the outside.
Right now, Jason doesn't have any help. Austin Dillon's trying to scramble to get to the back bumper of that gunbroker.com Ford.
Side by side as they go down the backstretch. Elliott Sadler leading the outside line. Here comes Ricky Carmichael behind him. Now they fan out 3 wide as they get into 3.
Wow, those trucks are
trouble already. Austin Dillon in it, as well as Johnny Sauter. The 18 of Kyle Busch is also involved.
98. Oh, look at this truck. The 10.
Jennifer Jo Cobb also involved. A big accident getting into turn number 3. Landon Castle in the 98 also with damage.
Justin Lofton the 7. There's the 15 of Ted Musgrave.
Huge crash.
Trying to get into turn number 3. You see the damage of the Bass Pro Shop Chevy Silverado.
It's a run on Austin Dillon. Austin starts to kind of come over a little bit to block him.
They touch, and then Austin starts wiggling, and then he catches Johnny Sauter up against the wall. Kyle Busch comes along. The 15 of Ted Musgrave with nowhere to go. The 98 of Landon Castle runs into his teammate Johnny Sauter.
That was just tight racing. 3 wide on the first darn lap.
See right there, you see the 3 start wiggling, and then he's going to lose control. His left front tire was locked up.
Series champion.
Look at Kyle Busch all up in the middle of it. Does a great job of surviving it. Too bad for Landon Castle. Just came along a little bit late. And here's Jennifer Jo. She's going a little bit faster, but darn, you can't see, Phil.
Yeah, this is a view I like right now, where you're going to see Eric Almirola will pull out. He's going to be side by side with Austin Dillon. Austin kind of creeps over a little bit, and they touch, and it gets Austin to wiggling, and he just gets behind in his steering a little bit, and then the thing heads towards the outside wall, takes Johnny Sauter with him.
You know, when I talk to my young drivers or anybody talks about Daytona, you don't ever want to get surprised. You got to constantly be looking in your mirror, looking around all around you so that nothing surprises you. When a truck sneaks 3 wide on you on the back straightaway, if it surprises you, it can cause a problem. I don't know that Austin was surprised, but it almost seemed like he just got in a bind there and couldn't get out of it.
Let's get another vantage point of this. This is after Austin has already got up into the wall.
Rick Crawford just narrowly avoids it in the 14 Lilly Trucking.
Hit the outside wall pretty hard.
Yeah. After he already made contact. There's Nelson Piquet Jr. getting by, doing a nice job with no damage with that Red Horse truck.
2 trucks involved from Thor Sport Racing. Johnny Sauter as well as Landon Castle. Here we ride along with Rick Crawford.
3 wide ahead of you.
Wow, look at Rick. He's just digging.
Nice job by Rick Crawford.
This is Kyle's vantage point.
He's all up in the middle of it.
I'm trying to move here. Check it right in front of you.
Kyle had a huge run and was trying to go to that high side.
below the yellow line, then you may be penalized. And this is a case where when Eric Almirola started by Austin
let's
Dillon,
look at it. Let's look at it and show it right here.
and you'll see when Austin's
Yeah, let's ride along with Kyle Busch right here in the hell of a good Toyota. He makes a move to the inside, has a great run going, passes a couple trucks, but unfortunately they're crashing right in front of him, and he really had absolutely nowhere to go.
some guys some of these cats did a great job of keeping their eyeballs wide open and figuring out where they wanted to go during the course of this crash.
I was very impressed with Nelson Piquet Jr., my spotlight driver. He got through. This is the first time he has ever had to drive through a wreck like that in this type of vehicle.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys,
as he goes by our race leader, Mike Skinner.
You know, you ask why he's out there. Because he's got corporate sponsors on the side of that truck. And also, he'd like to think...
Oh, Hornaday's in the wall.
Hornaday into the wall in the backstretch. Now Ricky Carmichael also in the fourth, spinning. The 51 of Eric Almirola caught up in this. There's Johnny Benson in the 95 trying to avoid.
What a job by Nelson Piquet Jr. too, Phil.
Second time he's done a great job. Look at the damage to our champion, Ron Hornaday.
There's the 15 of Ted Musgrave.
Both the Billy Blues trucks, the 15 and the 51, tore up in this crash. Oh, is he going to get a bump draft from Ricky Carmichael?
They get a bump draft from Ricky Carmichael, and it may turn him.
No, I think he had a flat.
I think he had a flat tire. I don't think Ricky Carmichael ever touched him.
No, it looked like that's what it was setting up to be, but Hornaday just veered to the right. I was going down the back straightaway the other day in my cup car and blew a left rear tire, and it just drove right to the infield. He might have blown a right rear tire, and it pulled him right into the outside wall. You know, so much.
Watch, we're going to see before Ricky Carmichael gets there, that 33 truck's going to veer to the right.
It's hard to tell from that angle.
It's pretty close.
But I think from the other angle, it didn't look like Hornaday ever, or excuse me, Ricky ever touched him. See if we can get a better look at that.
Nelson
look at
Piquet
Neil. That's
Jr.
an amazing job Nelson Piquet did there.
Let's keep an eye on it now. Boy, it almost looked from that angle like there might have been a slight contact.
If we could look back at that first one and really see, it looked like from the first look we saw from it, Ricky didn't hit him. You can see the right rear tires down on Ron's truck right there. I think
riding along with Elliott Sadler.
Keep coming on the bottom. Keep coming low, low, low. Keep coming low. That's good.
Nelson Piquet slipping by there. That's an amazing job that young man did.
Good job.
Ryan Sieg getting by as well.
Here's Crawford's view.
Or just right in front of him. Through the grass.
Hold her straight. Hold her straight. Back up.
Again, coming right at us.
Boy, I'm telling you, from that angle, it almost looks like there was a little bit of contact, and that got right wiggling.
Let's look at what we saw the first time.
Yeah, this is from the blimp. Let's look one more time to see if there was any contact. Again, we're looking at the 4 and the 33.
He's going to pull up on him for sure.
I don't think so, Phil.
Boy, if there was contact, it was oh so slight.
Well, and I just think I think Ron had a flat tire. I really do.
It looks like right when the 4 gets to the back bumper of that truck, it starts to move to the right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so close.
Adam Alexander.
And it's always tough to judge what a driver's.
The driver's meeting. Think about the fact that these bumpers don't line up.
And Ricky had to say, I caused that? I mean, I just barely bumped him. And look at the aftermath.
A wild ride for a lot of trucks. The NASCAR, the list goes on and on.
Man.
Just an innocent little bump from Ricky Carmichael to Ron Hornaday. Look on the outside. That's Ron Hornaday, the 33 Longhorn truck. Ricky Carmichael, the monster truck, right behind him. He's just going to try to help him. All he does is looks like maybe just nudge him ever so slightly, and it turns Ron into the outside wall.
And Ricky's probably thinking, you know, I've been bumped like that before. My truck kept going straight, but you just don't know what Ron was, you know, where you hit, where you match up, and it just happened so quickly. We tried to give him a benefit of the doubt and say he didn't do it, but he certainly did.
There's Ty Bodine on the inside.
Elliott Sadler is the truck we're riding along with.
Doing great.
Doing great off turn 2, and then into 3, it's tore all to pieces.
There's Mad Max on the inside.
Look at there, a little
bumping
bump.
Todd.
Keep coming on the bottom. Keep coming low, low, low. Keep coming low. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Clear. Good job. Good job.
Slow race truck.
I blew a right front tire.
That looks like Norm Benning's truck.
I believe, in the 57.
57 truck. Norm was running around here in the top 20 on the lead lap.
Just as we had passed the halfway point in our fourth.
Be there for a couple of guys, but for Todd, it was the right move to make.
And really still in contention for this win.
Certainly.
Closing rate. So amazing. Oh, Mike Skinner
trouble.
gets wild. He gets into the outside wall, trying to keep it off the inside line. He goes into the outside wall. Jason White slows and looks like there was no contact, but a very close call for him. The caution has come out once again.
Back straightaway.
Back straightaway.
Going straight.
Going straight. Straightest part of the racetrack. Looks like Jason White might have got into the outside wall ever so slightly.
Just a couple trucks involved in
bumper.
Oh, gets a hold of him and doesn't let him go.
Yeah.
Into the wall and then right back into the wall, and then coming in here, the 39 is trying to stop.
Oh, both those guys. Jason White gets into the outside wall. Looked like lightly, though. He might be okay, but he definitely got into the wall.
There's another view here from the
now, do you see
turn 3 camera.
You see how different what Ricky Carmichael did to Ron was than that? You could tell Timothy Peters got a hold to Mike, and he just didn't let him go. That's a bad mistake.
Lifted the back end off the ground. I mean, that was what happened with Mike Skinner here. Oh, how close for the 12 of Mario Goslin, just clearing that.
You know, you wish that these drivers could be up here and watch what we watch, or see the replays, because I'm telling you, if they would have seen the replays with Ron Hornaday's incident, this incident would have never happened.
Oh, he just watch. You can see that how this looks so much different than the last time we had this problem on the back straight. We can see how long they're tied together, and it just knocks Mike right out of the way.
And guys, remember, Timothy Peters is trying to help Mike Skinner. He's not trying to hurt him. He's not trying to turn him around. He's trying to help him.
That looked like pretty significant hit for Jason White too, Phil, from that blimp shot. Bounced off that wall pretty good up there in 3 and 4.
Mike Skinner running in the second. Welcome back. TireMonkey.com driver Mario Goslin has brought out our 6th caution of the night. Look at the damage to the front of this race truck.
Yeah, tremendous amount of damage to that Chevrolet. He was racing well up into the top 10 in the lead draft.
It came by the start-finish line for some reason. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not.
Let's take a look.
See him on the outside.
On the inside of that.
See there, he
catches,
just gets Nelson, and then
up the track he goes, and
that is so wild.
At first it looked like maybe he was going to some pretty significant contact to the inside wall. Looks like he was trying to get in line behind him, and then he couldn't get in line, and then they may have got hooked together or something.
It's like it ran him up he got sideways a little bit there, and it runs him up the hill, and he just loses control. And look, this is a game of inches sometimes. This case it's a couple of feet, but darn, if he could have just missed it there, he had a lot more room to slide after that. That was weird looking, wasn't it?
Sure was. Tough break for Mario, though. Had a great run going on the heels of a great 6th place run at Talladega.
Check it out here. If he could just not hit there.
Whoa, and that thing hit hard.
Yeah.
Did.
Head on.
Luckily, everybody did a good job of getting her locked down and keeping it from coming way up in the road.
Just behind him, Stacy Compton. We've got to slip away for one more break before we see the checkered flag at Daytona. Just as we hit the point of no return and headed for commercial, Max Pappas gets involved in our 7th caution of the night.
Looks like it's more of the bump drafting.
Going to be some more bump drafting. Is it Nelson Piquet Jr.?
Nelson Piquet Jr. in the number 1.
Wow. I just wish these guys had the advantage of watching all these replays and all these incidents. Max had such a great truck. Had led this race, had raced up front, and unfortunately that Geico Toyota's not going to be around for the finish.
Both those guys raced a little bit of Formula 1, Phil. I wonder if they ever had problems over there. You could see Nelson's front end was moving toward the inside of the track when he actually bumped Max, which certainly isn't the way to go about doing that.
Got a bit of a Formula 1 connection there. Obviously, 3-time world champion Nelson Piquet, father to Nelson Piquet Jr., and Emerson Fittipaldi, former world champion, I think maybe a 2-time world champion, is Max's father-in-law.
Luckily for us, that was just a 1 truck accident. We've seen the other bump drafting accidents result in multiple trucks over in the infield.
But we're
Push.
and then he jumped to the inside behind Setzer.
The white flag in the air. 1 lap of racing to go. Todd Bodine trying to make it 3 in a row from Daytona. Timothy Peters wants to win on a super speedway, running second.
Still in line.
Timothy Peters it'd be ideal if he was a truck length or two behind him, Phil. He can't get a run stuffed right on his bumper. He'll just push Todd.
He needs some momentum.
Down the backstretch.
Look at
Jason White moves out of line. Timothy Peters moved out. Todd Bodine scrapes the wall. Timothy Peters goes to the bottom of the racetrack to take the lead.
Todd got hit, went high, but kept his foot in the gas. Can he rally from the outside?
Jason's helping him on the outside.
Side by side, coming through 3 and 4. The trioval is all that is left. A little contact. Timothy Peters is wild coming up to the line. Timothy Peters is going to win at Daytona. They crash behind him. Todd Bodine crossed the stripe in second, got sideways, and now Johnny Benson is in him.
Wow.
What a great job by Timothy Peters.
Timothy Peters took advantage of Todd Bodine sliding up the racetrack.
He got knocked up the racetrack.
And Todd Bodine comes home in second. Timothy Peters wins.
Jason White made the first move. I applaud him for this. He got a run. He said, I'm going somewhere. And Timothy said, well, I want to go with you. And he gets Todd, hits Todd in the back, sends Todd up high.
Todd fought back, though, never let it off the throttle.
What about Todd? Sideways, heading toward the outside wall. Wide open, baby.
Thought maybe right here Todd might have had an advantage on the outside, but he went a little bit wide, lost about a half a truck length.
And then the reason why Timothy won, look, Dennis Setzer, he's pushing him, giving him the momentum he needed to stay ahead of Todd Bodine.
Another amazing finish from Daytona International Speedway.
That was amazing.
Victory this is.
And I thought Todd was going to save that truck right there, and that was going to be an incredible save.
Look at Todd. He's over there trying to get a hold to the side of Timothy Peters to try to side draft him, but Dennis Setzer is right on Timothy's tailgate, pushing him to the victory.
I bet you Timothy's saying, boy, I'm glad Dennis was bump drafting me there. What do you think?
That's right.
That is the third last lap pass at Daytona International Speedway for the Camping World Truck Series. In 05, Bobby Hamilton did it over Jimmy Spencer.
Look at that wad of trucks. Maybe they weren't 3 wide at the finish, but there was how many trucks within a second?
Well, there were 10 trucks within a half a second.
Yeah,
within a half a second, 10 trucks crossed the start-finish line. I bet he's going to be there. Kevin Harvick.
I think he's committed to being there.
Kevin's going to be there. He's out
crash,
front.
big crash.
Problems in turn 3.
Hornaday.
The 33 of
Left rear
Hornaday
tire, I bet
into the wall. We talked about it earlier. He had a tire rub on the left rear.
Guess what? It didn't last.
It didn't
Guess
last.
what? It didn't last.
Hurt him. A lot of damage to the back of that truck. This is one team who really couldn't afford another bad finish. They started off with a difficult start to the season at Daytona, and now this.
That's a huge.
He can't even move now that he's in the grass. Let's take a look here.
Watch how fast this happens. Boom. Tire blows and into the wall he goes. Thank the Lord for those safer barriers.
Good job. Woo.
That truck into that, if that had hit concrete,
I'm trying to figure it out myself.
I've done it before, Phil, as have you. It's just amazing the difference these safer barriers make for these guys. Look at the damage on that truck.
Wow. All the way up to the back window, it looks like. Up to the cab. Leaders on pit road.
Pit road is open. Here comes Kevin Hart. The lead has changed about 3 times in those 3 laps.
Oh, that's sideways. That's going to be a crash.
Crafted into the 30 of Todd
Hang on
Bodine.
to her, Todd.
Look at Bodine trying to keep it off the wall.
Hold the brake. Got him coming at you.
The caution has come out. Todd Bodine, what an amazing save.
88 got him.
The 88 and the 30, there is contact made, and both of them still drive away from that, but there's damage.
Yeah, a lot of damage to the 88. I think the 30 is going to be okay.
Yeah, 30, just between the tires is the best place to have.
Take another look at what happened.
There they are, side by side. You see Crafton start sliding up off the bottom of the racetrack. Then he gets loose, and he has to chase the truck up the hill. And when he did, he made contact with the left rear of Todd Bodine.
And you can see a pretty good shot into the wall on that 88 truck. So he's probably knocked the toe off. The wheels won't be pointing in the right direction in the front, and that'll mess him up. Check it out. Just starts to push up the hill a little bit. Like I said, no air to lean on. The truck doesn't want to turn right. And then eventually he's just got to, he runs into Todd Bodine and causes them both to crash.
Todd does a nice job not getting into the outside wall any harder than he did. Made slight contact. See his tear off flapping around.
Watch Todd too, Phil. Great point. Watch him how long he leaves his foot on the floor. He's sliding right now. Now he's wide open trying to get that thing to keep from spinning out. And then he's smart enough to know to let off the gas and save the truck from running into the inside wall. Just a great job by Todd Bodine.
It's going to be a great shot from Kevin Harvick's easy go on board here.
Behind you there. No caution yet. Caution's out. 88, one right into the 30.
That's
Pretty much what happened.
We saw it just like that.
Let's ride along.
Clear low.
Matt Crafton.
I'm in trouble.
30 still out there.
Boom.
Got loose. Got to the 30 there. Got to the fence to get some stuff ready to fix the right side.
He's got it. He has him cleared. He can move up the racetrack out in front of Steven.
Steve Wallace runs second now, and right on his back bumper will be the 2 into the wall again, the 88 of Matt Crafton.
Down if he can. Come down if he can.
Damage continuing for the 88
Take it to the
team.
garage so we can work on it there.
Amazingly enough, the 33 of Ron Hornaday was the first to get involved in an accident. And
Truck too. He had a truck in practice that was faster than everyone's, but he got it in the wall when he made contact with Todd Bodine.
He
and that
cut a tire down right there, it looked like.
The damage from the accident he had earlier obviously didn't get all cleared away, and the right front tire was cut. It might have bent the toe end off enough to where maybe a sway bar arm got into that right front tire. It might not even have been fender damage that did it. Some of the suspension components could have dug into that tire.
listen in, we'll ride along with him.
The red truck will be the one you're chasing, still inside.
You heard it. You heard something pop.
You know, when you have
Hold on, 2 more.
Really,
come down if he can.
Really fortunate that he was up high, so the damage is going to be minimal. But you heard Bud Hafley say, "Let's take it to the garage so we can fix it right."
Look what minimal is. The whole right front's tore off of it. So
what if that Rick Crawford circle bar on board right there? Rick's running.
Oh, look at there, contact.
And they're in
Crash.
the wall right in front of
Rick
Crawford.
Clear to the bottom.
The 93 and the 7. The 7 of Justin Lofton and the 93 of Shane Sieg involved in this incident right in front of Rick Crawford.
All right, stay there, stay there. Good job, stay there, stay there.
Sieg did what Matt Crafton did, Phil. He just got sideways and got up into Justin Lofton. He just couldn't get off of him.
Yeah, just had to chase it up the hill, and unfortunately Justin was there. Had Justin not been there, Shane may have had enough room to catch that truck, but Justin didn't do anything wrong. He just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
They slide down the back stretch. There again, you take a look at it coming off of turn 2.
We're riding along with Rick Crawford. He is right behind us. You're going to watch him duck by in the 14 truck.
As does Jason White. We hadn't said a lot about Jason. Didn't qualify on the pole at Daytona. Was way back in qualifying here. But you'll see him slip to the bottom here. Here comes Crawford and Jason White. These trucks are all battling in the top 10, Phil.
Yeah, tough break. There's another view. Justin is absolutely as high as he can go. He's right up against the wall, and Shane said, "I need some more room."
They scatter down behind them. Coming off the wall.
It's great to see some of the guys that are running in the top 10. A couple of them there won't be now.
So again, this time it's Shane Sieg and Justin Lofton that are involved. Rick Crawford had a front row seat to this battle that didn't end so well for those two drivers. We'll be right back with more from Atlanta. Tomorrow NASCAR race day soars in air. Kevin Harvick gets it. 1.5 miles to go for Kevin Harvick.
Remember, that means no green white checker. Once the leader gets the white flag, if anything happens on this lap, the race will be official.
That truck was strong from the time they unloaded it, Rick. It's just pretty obvious he was going to be the truck to beat after practice. He could just run 31.90s way longer than everybody else could. He wasn't any faster than them when they threw the green,
Kevin Harvick comes out of turn number 4, 7th career win in the Camping World Truck Series.
What a dominating performance by Kevin Harvick and KHI. Great battle here. Have a sense of urgency. We're only 26 laps into a 250 lap race. Ooh, trouble on the racetrack.
Problem with the number 7 of Justin Lofton. He is into the wall.
Hard into the wall.
Teammate of the 17 of Timothy Peters, currently running in the 3rd spot.
Justin was running in the top 10. He was running in the 10th position.
Looked like he
back.
Look at right of your screen. The 89 truck was definitely the truck behind him. So,
and the 89 was a couple of laps off the pace, and Justin run along on the lead lap.
So Johnny Sauter trying to make his way toward the front as he sits second, and we've got a spin on the racetrack. That's the 46 of Clay Greenfield. Will that bring the caution out? Yes, it does.
And this will be the first opportunity for a lot of the front-running trucks to make their decision.
Don't hit the curb when you go down there.
These trucks are
talking about what strategy they would use for coming onto pit road. Here's a look at what happened.
That was Rick Crawford, the 14, right in front of our leader, Kevin Harvick.
I told you action would pick up when the leaders got to your back bumper, and that's exactly Crawford said. I got to go. Hits Clay Greenfield and spins him around.
Just slight contact, but that's all it takes. Sorry that was, because it's going to be plainly marked.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Got away from the 3 truck, it looks like.
Looks like Austin Dillon's truck, and it just lands on the hood just as nice as you please. And then Johnny Sauter will shake it loose coming down the backstretch.
Normally you try to throw a dime on a plate and you can't make it stick. How about a tire on the hood?
That takes 10.
See Ty Bodine moving up. Eichler gets that spot for Matt Crafton.
Side by side, Sauter and Hornaday. Sauter takes second away from Hornaday.
Sauter had done this.
Trouble.
Got a spinner.
Brent Raymer in the 85s going the wrong direction, and the caution comes out once again.
And I bet you Johnny Sauter says, surely
I'm going to get that one.
I was second that time.
He's going to stick his nose in between Chris Lafferty and the 88. They make a little bit of contact. Wow, that's Martinsville short track racing right there.
There was no room left. What a great job by Brian Eichler to get in that hole.
Keep an eye on that. We'll see what happened to Brent Raymer. That was a situation going in turn 3. They were 3 wide. The same 89 truck of Chris Lafferty. Brent Raymer was in the middle, made a little contact, and around he went.
Chris needs to pick up the pace. He's caused a couple of crashes, and you remember when he was a part of the player in the 3 wide pass that Eichler pulled off. So
he still has a piece of the 85 truck in his right front corner.
That was riding along with Hermie Sadler. He had an interesting view of what. And again, Todd Bodine and Ron Hornaday, between the two of them, have 62 wins in the Camping World Truck Series. Neither has been to victory lane. Lance Fitton gets sideways, and the 76 comes right in and T-bones him. Brian Johnson Jr. in the 76 gets to the inside driver's side door of that 95. And so our 5th
break for him.
Take another look at this. The 60 of Narain. Karthikeyan comes in, gets into the back of that 95.
Oh, wow.
You know, Brian more than likely had already committed to the corner. He'd already committed. He drove in the corner as hard as he was normally going to do it, and then all of a sudden the 95 truck is right there in front of him. You saw just a glimpse of him coming in the corner.
Wow.
Man, tough break.
He had the 60 on the outside of him. There was really, like you had mentioned, Michael, he's got the brakes locked up. There's nowhere he can go.
Well, it's just it's tough to learn what you're doing on these racetracks, trying to figure. If he had went up high, he would have gotten the marbles, and the thing certainly wouldn't have stopped. So I'm sure Brian will look at that and try to figure out what he could have done differently. But pretty hard contact to the side of Fenton's truck. We see Lance in there
moving around some.
Timothy Peters for the lead, coming out of turn number 4. It's a drag race into turn 1. Problems with Ricky Carmichael.
He
gets into the side of the 23. Todd Bodine locks it up, and the caution comes out again.
Wow, big crash for Jason White.
See, the right front tire's not even moving on that truck.
You got to figure the left rear of Carmichael's truck's going to be a mess too. Start getting together a little bit. You can see Austin in the back of Ricky. Austin in the back of Ricky.
Now he's going to pull to the inside.
But he's not there. He doesn't need to try to swipe that spot, but that's exactly what he does.
Well, then he hits the curb. We talk about that when you hit the curb. It's going to bounce you out into the truck on the outside. Chris DeVota told us in the setup, if you hit that curb, trouble's going to ensue, and it certainly did for Ricky Carmichael.
You know, there's a point in time, if you're Ricky, where you got to give the guy more than enough room, because if he squeezes him down, you know he's going to hit the curb, you know where he's going to go. He's going to go right into the side of you, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, Ricky May could have given just a little bit more room, and then Taylor Molson comes along, makes contact with the 3 of Austin Dillon.
And poor Jason White, just the wrong place, man. He was down on the bottom of the track, and that's where Ricky was coming. There was nothing Jason could do. Let's go inside of his truck and watch.
He's going to see this development in front of him.
85. Keep up what you're doing. You're pulling away from him. All right, back her down, back her down, back her down. Go high.
That just happens so fast.
Watch the left front of this 3 truck. He's going to hit that curb. When he does, his truck's going to go to the outside. There's the contact with the curb. You see that stops the tire, and then he slides out into the 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
That was an aggressive lap there for Austin Dillon. He got into Ricky and knocked him a little bit sideways and really didn't drive his truck up beside Ricky, but dove in the corner and tried to take the
track. That puts the field back in the hands of the 5 and the 17. Mike Skinner on the inside, Timothy Peters on the outside. Green flag back in the air. Between the 2 of them, they have 4 wins here at Martinsville.
Mike Skinner knows how to get it done in Martinsville.
Boy, Timothy drove it down in that corner, though.
Got a good run off, too. Got a real strong run off the turn and grabs the lead on the outside. Great move by Peters.
Got Harvick. Oh,
little contact back behind him. It's Narain Karthikeyan that is up against the wall in the 60. He got into the back of the 47. It looked like a Brett Butler.
A little bit, and there goes Austin Dillon up on the curb.
And they just seize everybody up.
Oh, and it cut Brett's left rear tire. You can see the left rear flat. And then finally, folks just didn't have anywhere to go. Brett did what he needed to do to get to pit road.
Looked like Todd Bodine may have made some contact with the back of
He definitely did. He made a commitment to the inside, and then all of a sudden Brett was there. There's a contact with the 3 of Austin Dillon, the 47 and the 56 of Taylor Molson.
Austin must have decided it's time to go. Took him 3 wide down across the curb, and
so watch Todd. He was committing to the inside, going to go to the inside of the 47 of Brett Butler, and Narain was already there. Narain probably says, I haven't had this much contact in my entire career.
Difficult day for a first start for Narain Karthikeyan. The Kroger 2
beat.
And remember, the 13 is going to line up right behind the 2 of Kevin Harvick. There's Narain Karthikeyan. Remember, he was my spotlight driver. He was running along in the 16th position on the lead lap. Going to be a little contact right here. He leaves the bottom of the racetrack open and then comes down a little bit. A little contact from the 46 of Clay Greenfield. Was not able to get his truck refired to stay on the lead lap, unfortunately. But again, he's going to stay out there. Here's another look right here. You see Narain come down a little bit.
I don't think Greenfield really knew what Narain was doing. You know, he went in, like you said, a little bit high, a little bit in the middle of the track.
Like he was going to give him the inside line.
Aaron's lucky dog.
Guy that calls a caution.
Goes to the 40. Welcome back to Martinsville. The 11th caution has come out. It was Hornaday just behind the 13 of Johnny Sauter. Hornaday thought it was time to go. He got into the back of Sauter. Around he went. Mike Skinner gets caught up in this one as well.
Tough
the 17th for.
Because he was clearly running me over.
They're going to. There's a contact right there. Hornaday was able to get in the throttle a little bit before Johnny Sauter. And then after that happened, then the 5 ran in the back of Hornaday. But that's a little bit of a stretch to blame that one on Mike Skinner, I think.
I agree. But you know, you see it differently from inside a cockpit.
We don't know what happened the corner previous to that. Now, Skinner may have gotten the back around Hornaday the corner previous to that, but that's obvious contact right there from the 33 to the 13.
What a tough break for Mike Skinner, Gene Need, and those boys on the 5 truck. They had put themselves in such a great position. But, you know, Sauter, one of the fastest trucks all day, when he got to second, he couldn't go anywhere. Hornaday had caught him, run him down. And you can see why he's faster. Watch. That's why he ran into him.
You can see Ron sounded like he was pretty much off the throttle. He just coasted into him there, it looked like.
It's the front of the 13 truck. That shouldn't hurt him too badly because Matt Crafton was behind him.
Might blame it on Matt.
Uh-oh. Problems now for Taylor Molson in the 56.
Running in the 8th position right now. He has no choice but to stay on the racetrack and try to ride it out.
Final lap. The white flag has gone in the air. Kevin Harvick, less than a half a lap to go.
With a big lead.
Trying to earn his 8th career Camping World Truck Series win. The Tide, number 2, coming at it, turn number 4. Harvick will win at Martinsville again.
There's that battle for 5th right there, Johnny Benson.
Team.
get by on the outside in that 7 truck.
That's something you're not going to see a whole lot of, passing on the outside, but he was able to.
How about passing on the inside, Michael? Timothy Peters trying to take the top spot away from Todd Bodine, and while they do that, a wreck on the racetrack. Johanna Long in the 15 involved in this.
That's
Narain Karthikeyan in the 60 also. So our first caution comes out on lap number 4. Johanna Long in the 15, Narain Karthikeyan in the 60.
Johanna.
Looks like Narain just lost the front of the truck. Maybe got a little bit loose. Anyway, had to chase it up the hill and made contact with Johanna. Nothing she could do about that.
Oh, that's a shame for her. Both those competitors, because Peters almost did.
Yeah.
He was really close to doing what Ryan Sieg did. The caution is going to fly. Todd Bodine was just about to come to pit road. He was off turn 4 down low. He saw the caution fly, and he stayed on pit. He stayed on the racetrack. Oh, big crash.
Big crash for Mario Goslin in the number 12, that tire monkey number 12. Obviously into the wall. You see Mario taking the steering wheel off. He's already got the window net down, so he'll be climbing out of that race truck.
This is going
Yeah,
to bottom
on the
side.
inside, and Armindia didn't know Mario was down there, crowded him down onto the apron, and Mario lost control of his truck, and hard contact into that outside wall. Good thing to see Mario was able to hop out and show his emotion, because that was a bad crash.
A little sidearm, like a Fred Lasher used to play for the Tigers back in the 70s.
Well, he just recognized the truck he was looking for too late to really get to really time it good enough to get the hit that he was looking
accurate
for.
throw.
Yeah, and he didn't want to wait another lap for him to come
No,
by.
he might have calmed down by then.
Yeah.
Then he couldn't have. Then he nothing to go run Todd down with.
Take a look at this now. Watch. Timothy Peters dives down to the bottom of the racetrack. He gets a little bit loose there. Then he has to save it again. Austin Dillon just drives by on the inside.
And Austin Dillon has been all over the back bumper of that 17, so maybe Austin Dillon can put some distance between he and Timothy Peters and close in on Todd Bodine.
Watch from Timothy's on board here. This is what it's going to feel like to get loose. There they go by the start.
Bodine, one more time around Nashville Super Speedway.
Todd knows there's not going to be a green and white checker. It looked like the 0-1 cost the momentum to Justin Lofton.
Justin wants that spot bad.
Todd Bodine has won at some impressive racetracks. But when you talk about trophies, Nashville Super Speedway winning at this racetrack has one of the most impressive. A Sam Bass decorated Gibson guitar goes to the winner, and that tonight will be Todd Bodine winning at Nashville Super Speedway.
Never give up. Great job, boys. Love y'all. Proud just to be part of this team. Man, that's it. Never give up. Keep it.
He's going to be patient. He's going to be calm. He knows he's got a truck. He got one loose off 4. Got a flat tire and a crash.
That is Narain Karthikeyan sliding back up in front of the field. And it looks as though no contact with any of the other trucks, but into the wall goes Narain Karthikeyan in that number 60 truck.
I think Narain was just a victim of circumstances there. He did such a great job at Martinsville, racing all day long, getting a top 15 finish, learning about these trucks. I believe the 16 truck blew a left rear coming off turn 4 and lost his truck and just dove right in.
Look back behind this. We're looking at right there.
See the 16 truck come down and hit Narain?
Yeah, Narain was underneath the 16 truck.
16 truck had a tire go down, went flat, blew out, and he's almost spun, and Narain was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Tony Jackson Jr., the 07, did a nice job avoiding. There's another. There's a contact. He just came down, turned left off the outside wall, ran right into Narain, and look at the 07 get by, just barely. Tony Jackson Jr.
You know, Phil, that's Narain didn't see that coming. He was just coming off turn 4, running his own line. Watch.
Look at the very right of your screen here, the 2 white trucks. He came down at a 30-degree angle. Narain just riding along, biding his own time there, minding his own business. And unfortunately for him, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And like you said, look at Jackson. He just slowed down. He made sure he tried to figure out where that truck was going and did a wonderful job of not making that accident even worse for Narain.
Very tight down in 1 and 2. He called back to Jeff Hensley. Jeff said, don't worry, we got a lot of adjustability into this truck. We'll get it better for you. But just before we went back to green there, he called up to his spotter, Kevin Ray, and he said, check that right front tire
Problems
for
on the
me.
racetrack, right? The 21 and the 10 are involved. Jennifer Jo Cobb in the 10 and the 21 of Chris Eggleston.
See some right side damage to Chris's truck.
Was right in the middle of the field. See what happens. Oh, gets loose.
Yeah, Jennifer Jo just got a little bit loose. Chris Eggleston came along with absolutely nowhere to go. got caught up against the outside wall.
Chris was really looking forward to today's race. I talked to he and his teammate Jason White down in the garage, and they really felt good about their trucks. And that's sort of like in the rain. Same thing happened in the rain on the front straightaway. Chris Eccleston just didn't have any work. There's nothing he could do. Unavoidable contact.
Wrong place at the wrong time for Chris Eccleston.
Here's Kenny Schrader right here. Let's see what he saw. Gonna be right up in front of him. Here Kenny off the brake, off the gas, on the brakes, just eases down to the inside of the racetrack. It's not the first time he's missed an accident, is it?
That's an old veteran right there. When he just rolled down the gas and wandered his way right through that crash. You saw Brett Butler in that Fuel Doctor truck. He was just ahead of Schrader, making his way through as well.
There was David Starr's Toyota on board we were riding with there out the back.
Takes it away from Matt Crafton.
It's Timothy Peters, the 17 truck, lurking behind. He's got his breath back from getting loose down there a few laps ago.
The momentum is back for Timothy Peters.
Oh,
we got a problem again. The 46. Terry Jones gets into the infield. That's on the back stretch.
Terry's another one of the regular ARCA competitors. Has been here in an ARCA car before, but making his debut here in the Camping World Truck Series, one of Danny Gill's trucks.
Looks like he's going to be able to get rolling, keep these leaders from coming around and getting him a lap down in Paris. But man, what a run early in the going for David Starr.
The reason we're under caution, the Amherstburg, Ontario native Terry Jones comes out of turn number 2, slides down the backstretch and into the infield of the backstretch, and that is our third caution of the race. We'll be back with more racing from Kansas Speedway.
Side of Ron Hornaday just for a moment going in turn number 3.
What a battle for the lead. Look at
He got loose. He's losing into the side of the 56, Taylor Molsom, and so Rick Crawford takes out the 56 as he gets loose, battling for the lead.
That's what we talked about, you know. Oh, watch out, guys.
Behind them, trying to thread the needle. A couple trucks very close.
The 6 truck actually got in the wall after he got through the incident. Brian Rose, I think, trying to avoid maybe Rick Crawford coming down the racetrack, and made some pretty significant contact. He's right in front of the start-finish line. There he is. You caught a glimpse of him right there.
Look how hard that truck's hit, both left and right side. Check this out.
Rick is loose. He's in trouble right now. Johnny Sauter goes by. That's going to further suck the back end of the truck around. Then he just keeps chasing it up the hill, and unfortunately Taylor Molsom comes by on the outside, and they make contact.
What happened to Brian Rose? How did he get involved in this mess?
Watch it. Watch as see. There's Brian, and he did get clipped by the 76 of Rick Crawford. It looked like the 21 of Chris Eccleston went in between those 2 trucks. There's another view. He's just chasing it up the hill and runs out of racetrack. Taylor Molsom is there.
Check out the speed of the guys approaching. They're all trying to slow down and get to the bottom.
We can't even see those trucks right now because of the smoke. There's Brian Rose. He's that white. You see the back of that white truck still up on the racetrack right by the white line. And then Rick Crawford just clips the right rear corner and turns him almost head on into the outside safer barrier.
What do you need, Phil? 6 inches? He
That's
would have been
about
through
it.
that?
That's about it. There's another view. Johnny Sauter very, very fortunate that he got by before Rick really got up loose into the outside, but Taylor Molsom was not quite as fortunate.
Taylor Molsom was running in the 5th spot. He was collected in this one. Riding along with Mike Skinner.
Look at the view he sees.
Yeah, he sees it right away, too. Mike is on it right away.
Did you hear him get back on the gas?
Got back on the throttle. Out of here. Yeah, those guys are up against the wall. I'm going to get back on the throttle and get by that. Here's real time. This is how quick it happens and how quick these guys have to make these decisions.
Now you see the 6, he just was going a little bit too fast, so he pulled out on the outside of that black truck, and they're just almost
barely
made it through.
Just barely. Chris Eccleston goes right between the 76 and the 56. There's another look.
Taylor is doing just what he's supposed to be doing. He saw an opening up high right behind Johnny Sauter, and then Crawford just lost control of his truck and spun right in front of Taylor. Sort of like Narain Karthikeyan as he exited turn 4 earlier. A truck hit him in the side. There was nothing that Taylor could do at that point.
Racetrack into the wall. There's contact made.
Oh, Brett finally got into the wall.
That is Jennifer Jo Cobb once again in the 10. Just coming into turn number 3, got sideways, chased it all the way up the racetrack and into the wall.
I was watching the accident as it happened live. Brett Butler just dove on down into turn 3 on the inside of Jennifer. I don't think she knew he was there. They collided, and into the wall Brett went.
Brett had such a good run going. You see a lot of damage to that 47 Fuel Doctor truck.
Certainly the run of the Jennifer. They get to the corner. He dives for the bottom, and she turns in on him.
Yeah, he's all the way down to the white line. I think you're exactly right. She did not know he was there. He almost saved it there, and right at the very last second, he ran out of racetrack and made some pretty good contact with the outside safer barrier.
Second incident that Jennifer Jo Cobb has been involved in. You see that they've done a lot of work to that truck to get it back out on the race.
Since two tires are starting to give up a little bit with him, and Eric's all over him. Can he get to the outside? That's what he's trying to do. Yes.
He's there. He's there. See if he can clear him by the time he gets to turn number 1. Mike Skinner right behind this group. That's also a battle for position.
And our leader gets the white flag. 1 lap of racing to go for Johnny Sauter. This battle continues. Skinner trying to get by Jason White as well. You see Ken Schrader in the background also trying to get by that 23.
It's a battle for 8th right there. Jason White and Mike Skinner.
Looks like Skinner's going to make it. Is he clearing? Yes, barely.
And there's Schrader in the easy go number 2. Johnny Sauter coming out of turn number 4. The final tri-oval. Sauter is looking for his second win in the Truck Series.
That's how you win races.
That's how you drive a race truck. Yeah, definitely threw Ricky Carmichael a curve.
What about Otabo 9 doing a little play-by-play up truck?
I would say that you can see him just gets a little bit loose. Getting him. Remember, we talked to Ricky at the beginning of the show. Very, very little practice time because of that chunk of lead falling off. Let's take a look at this again. This is real time. And he's probably running 170 miles an hour when he enters the corner. Now, by the time he gets into the outside wall, he scrubbed off a lot of that speed, but nonetheless, you can see the damage to the back end of that monster Chevrolet.
Yeah, he was still, I mean, that thing was sideways really before he ever got down into the corner field. Like right there, he's wrecked.
Yeah.
And, you know, his foot is on the floor when that happens. He turns in, he doesn't expect what that truck gave him, and it got away from him, hit the wall pretty hard. That will
I think it's got to bring a backup truck
definitely be a backup. It's green, white, checkered late in the race, but I don't think I could have handled one after that. Those guys run into each other sideways with just a couple of laps to go.
Trouble already. Problems on the racetrack. The 47 gets turned around, and so Brett Butler, and also it looks like Justin Lofton's going to back it into the wall.
That's Donnie Neuenberger on that 6 truck. And unfortunately, those two drivers are teammates, both out of Rick Ware's stables. So
that was a costly lap for Rick Ware. You're right.
A lot of damage to Donnie's truck. He had a top 10. I got to say Ron Hornaday.
Ron Hornaday is the name, and he is closing in on 9,000 laps.
You can see on the top of the screen there, Brett Butler was down under another truck. He got loose because he was pinched down on the inside. Looked like Donnie Neuenberger ran up on another truck maybe and got on the brakes to keep from hitting the other truck. You see Butler sideways there in the corner. Let's watch for the 6 truck of Neuenberger.
Yeah, we see it happen so many times when you have a truck on the inside. Watch Donnie now. He's coming off the corner now, the red and white truck. He saw that truck in front of him. He turned left to try to avoid that truck and then lost control.
Be a better view of it hopefully up top. You can see Neuenberger coming off the corner. He's closing fast on Jen Cobb, and he turns to keep from hitting her. And then around he goes.
As you mentioned, the banking of the straightaway is really what contributed to that, him being involved in this situation.
And man, that's a great picture there of what a safer barrier does. Did you see the 6 truck clobber that safer barrier, and the way that barrier absorbed the impact, stretched the impact out over a period of time, lessening the blow that's delivered to the driver. Check this out. Let's watch this barrier give.
That's exactly what that thing is for. That's what it was designed for. And what a tremendous job that barrier does. And, you know, you used to come here and just dread possibly blowing a right front tire. Not that it's any fun now, but it's a whole lot less than it used to be.
A couple of guys had some career in.
With his teammate Johnny Sauter, got maybe a little bit too close to the wall here. Watch this view here coming off turn number 4.
Oh, it's not too close. He actually hit it.
I would call that
too close. You can see the paint flakes coming off of the wall.
Here's from his onboard camera right here. There's the little bang here, and that's pretty incidental contact here for Dover.
No serious damage. The 88 soldiers on inside the top 10, and now we have a caution.
James Busher sideways. We've got Stacy Compton also sliding sideways. He had contact from the back. You can see that.
Yeah, he got clobbered when he slowed down for the crash. There was a bunch of trucks
squeezed up a little bit. That's what happened.
Jennifer Jo Cobb in the 10 was down at the bottom, and you had 2 guys racing for position. Neither wanted to give.
Yeah, we're 20 laps into this race. You know, discretion's a better part of valor right now.
Especially if you're Stacy Compton thinking, I wish these guys had worked this out on their own.
There's another view right there.
You know, it's just like you said, Phil, we're a little bit too early. Either one of those guys could have avoided that accident. Unfortunately, both of them decided they were going to get in that hole. And if one of them had a given, obviously this early in the race, the reason why James was in that position was because he got pinched off coming off turn 2. Had a great run on the high side coming off turn 2.
Look at Taylor Molson lock the brakes up and how long he did it here to just barely avoid Buescher.
But those guys are going to be able to get some fresh tires and still be in this battle. Both of them have good trucks.
And remember, Goodyear gave these guys an extra 1.5 sets of tires. There's the contact right there that turned Stacy Compton around. Was it a tire monkey got him?
Looks like the 12 of Mario Gosselin was behind the 60.
Well, there's no way that Taylor would have suspected, I don't think, that James was going to make that big dive for the corner. I mean, he came from way up high to
3 and 4 have been tough for a few different drivers. Here's that contact with Mario Gosselin getting into the 60 of Stacy Compton, doing some damage to the back of that truck. They'll have to get that body work straightened out before we go back.
One of those moments as you described.
Yeah. And if you catch traffic or lap traffic the wrong way.
Oh, trouble. Max Pappas off turn 2.
Hard contact.
Max Pappas has a problem with the right front. Blew the tire, got into the wall.
Yeah, I'm okay.
And you got the response
Like
there.
the right front went down.
Yeah,
okay.
That's hard contact for that Geico truck.
He was running in the 10th. Third caution of the day comes out. This time it's Max Pappas. We take a look.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wrong place to have that happen, too, man. He's just along for the ride. And these guys now have 50-some laps on tires. It'll be interesting when they pit for our pit reporters to get a look at these tires. Is there going to be right front issues? We didn't think so.
There's another shot of that safer barrier giving, too, because fortunately for Max, he was able to hit that safer barrier. We heard him say, I'm all right, and just didn't even knock the...
Through the first run, and they made an air pressure adjustment on the right front for that number 33 Longhorn Chevrolet, and now he's a little bit too free. 46 truck is in the wall, guys.
Trouble for the 46 team and also the 5 of Mike Skinner. There's some contact that was made, and you see the tire rubbing the front end of that truck has been.
They're enjoying some great weather and some great racing. Let's see what happened to Mike Skinner. It looked like the 46 truck of Terry Jones gets sideways, and Skinner's just in a bind. He had to go up high to get around. He barely scrapes the outside wall, but did some damage to that left front corner as he got around the outside of Jones. I don't know if Mike...
Take a look at this most recent moment he had. He's on the inside. We see what happens. He gets loose, chases it, tries to stay off of Justin, almost does, and does a terrific job of straightening that truck out. Watch this.
Looked like he might have done some damage to the right front corner of that truck a little bit, Phil, or no?
Maybe a little bit, but it looks like he caught him maybe with the rear of the truck, maybe more so than the front of the truck.
Rear and then the...
Maybe a little bit with the front, but it looks like that fender's still sticking out pretty good.
That's not only was he worked...
Oh, Mario Gosselin into the wall. Coming out of turn number 4. Midway down the front stretch, and Mario Gosselin slams into the outside wall and then backs all the way down.
Yeah, Mario was running up in the top 15. He was in 14th spot. There's Mario on the inside. He's going to come off the corner right side by side with Ricky Carmichael. Just loses the front end of that truck.
Pushed up, and when he lost the front end, he had the wheels cut hard to the left, and when he bounced off Carmichael, it just spun him right around. Like you said, solid top 15 run for Mario Gosselin, and all of a sudden he finds himself backwards on the front straightaway at Dover.
What a nice job by Timothy Peters to avoid him. Watch just by that move by Timothy right there.
He had to do that so quick. I mean, he had to just react, and then he couldn't turn it too hard to the left. You're going downhill. We saw what housing. We saw a lot of damage to that left rear corner right there. But
he may have hit that tire, which may have moved the rear end housing over.
That's not a view you want at Dover, looking back down the front straightaway. But to spin out on the front straightaway at Dover, not suffer any more damage than that, I think Mario can consider himself fortunate.
Absolutely.
At insult to injury, he was too fast entering pit road, so he... 7th caution of the day has come out, this time involving our point leader. And Timothy Peters rolls into the garage area.
Big damage to the right front of that truck, Phil. There's brake rotor on the radio. Them having 4 sticker tires sitting there on the pit, they wanted to make sure they could get those tires on that truck.
See if we can take a look at what happened to Timothy Peters. You see the truck just turn right there. Looked like the tire went down. It didn't look like it didn't blow out all at once, because it would have turned hard right. But obviously it deflated, and he got into the outside. Well, there's some brake rotor right of your screen, flying out from under that truck. What a horrible break for Timothy.
And that was a great shot, too. We were able to see the brake rotor slam up into the hood as well when it broke off.
Look at that contact.
Yeah, I tell you, Timothy did a nice job.
Dodge save of the race moment.
Watch this move right here. Taylor Malsom on the inside does a great job staying off of Mario Gosselin in that 12 truck.
But watch this cat. Woo! Watch his hands, Phil. Look at his hands in there. He's trying to, he's all over that steering wheel, making sure he keeps it going straight.
And that's a bank straightaway, too, now. That's not a flat straightaway.
That jacks the degree of difficulty way. They said, oh, he's struggling. Well, he drove away from Matt now. So he might be struggling, but he's doing it out from Matt.
Elliott Sadler into the outside wall with the right front tire down.
Right front tire goes down for Elliott Sadler.
Keep it up there. Keep it up there.
You hear the spotter?
Now.
Stay up there.
Still coming at you. Hold your line up there. Hold your line up there. Hold your line up there. You got about 3 or 4 more here. Last one's behind you now. The 3 right there. Good, 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 good.
There's so many questions about why these tires are going. They're
Here. Elliott goes down in the corner. That tire goes, and that truck just turns hard right into the safety barrier. Another situation of the safety barrier really giving when Elliott makes that contact. Watch this. This will be a great view of it.
Oh, it's a great view.
Glances off the wall.
Tough break for that truck. That KHI truck came in here leading the owner points over the 18 truck of Kyle Busch.
That looks like a day-ending hit for Elliott Sadler.
And you know, Elliott, sometimes a truck's performance will begin to fall off as the tire goes away, but that truck was running fine. You know, he didn't have any warning, any sign at all that something was going wrong with that right front tire.
Repeat exactly what we heard on the radio. They told him to switch the electrical switch. It wasn't electrical. It was simply it slipped out of gear, Rick, and now you see problems for Johnny Sauter.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter into the wall, and that brings the caution out once again. Our 9th caution.
Right front.
And that is not what Kyle Busch wanted to see.
On this last restart to try to win this sucker.
You see Johnny there. I think he felt like something was going on because we saw the 81 of David Starr pulling up underneath him. Johnny feels something there, still makes some pretty good contact with the outside wall. Not as hard as some of the others we have seen, but
just such a helpless feeling when you go down to that corner and you feel something and then all of a sudden it goes away. It doesn't matter where you turn that steering wheel.
All you, brother. All you.
He's got
Pin back.
White flag in the air. Eric Almirola less than a mile away from his first win in the Camping World Truck Series.
look at this battle for second. James Busher, who spun early, trying to get by Justin Lofton for the second spot.
Home, 15 back.
Justin Lofton in the white truck on the inside. James Busher on the outside trying to take second away. Coming out of turn number 4, Eric Almirola in the 51 is going to win in the Camping World Truck Series.
James Busher with a second place finish.
Good job, guys.
That was an intense 2 laps, wasn't it?
On the hood of that truck. We've got some smoke on the racetrack, and a hard hit by the 85.
Brent Raymer.
Raymer gets into the wall hard on the right side, and so that brings out our first caution of practice.
That's a
Time on the racetrack.
Right.
And Brent's only showing 3 laps so far. Look at the right side of your screen. There's the tire's going to go down right there. You know, that looks like pretty innocent contact with the outside wall, but look at the damage to that truck.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, that's a backup. He's going to have to go to a backup.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
We saw Brent hit really hard before. He had a crash down at Daytona that was scary, man. He was fortunate in that case, as we all are. He ran into the safer barrier. That barrier.
And a lot of that's what this truck series is all about.
No doubt about it, Ray. The truck series is a great place for growth. And now we have issues on the track. We will follow up on that in a moment.
Yeah, it's the 0-1 of Michael Garrity that was sliding through. Michael actually has never
been here. He's got a little bit loose. You heard him say he was trying to get to the throttle, trying to get all to the throttle. He did a nice job of saving that truck, and then when the truck's finally caught, he didn't have it turned so far to the right that the thing shot to the right.
Well, you know, we've seen guys get sideways and mat the gas, Travis, and they were able to save their.
We have a caution.
Yeah, we got
12 trucks for him. We caught a glimpse of Austin Dillon.
I think he may have caught one of the logos. I think he got NASCAR Day on that one.
Oh boy.
Just slightly.
Just slightly. Mike Joy said he just barely nicked it, if anything. So
it just slipped through, and
by tonight.
Yep, that'll be repainted.
Take another. You look at right side of your screen. Mario's just going to get a little bit loose.
Austin Dillon.
We want to mention the engine builders for that 88 truck as well as the 13.
Problems. Austin Dillon into the wall he goes. Right behind him was the 81 of David Starr.
Yeah, I
Back
think
it down here. We cut or broke something, Danny, on the right front here, it looks like.
I think it looked like that maybe David Starr got in the back of him. He didn't have the momentum.
Try to get slowed down. Still coming in.
Yeah,
He didn't have the momentum off turn 2 that I think Dave.
We come off turn 2. You see the 3 of Austin Dillon right there. Right now the gap is pretty stabilized right here. There's about he got into the outside wall in the straightaway. He definitely did break something.
Wow.
There was no contact from the 81 of David Starr.
Wow, how did that happen?
It just shot to the right as we heard his spotter, Andy Houston, said, I think something broke.
Looked like from the view we had at first, look there, it looked like maybe Starr hooked the back of him. You can see the trucks.
That's exactly what it looked like, but from that other view there was definitely no contact from the 81 truck into the 3 truck.
You have to really wonder what could have possibly caused that truck to veer right like that. He had a problem before that, Phil. He didn't like the truck. He knew something was wrong with it. That's a smart kid.
He's talking about being a little bit tight on entry, so they're going to try to make an air pressure adjustment, and we got a truck spinning sideways off the corner.
That's the 16 that's got sideways. Wes Burton gets it straightened back out as he comes on to pit road, but that brings out our second caution of the night.
You know, a truck that slipped by Wes while he was sliding there was Narain Karthikeyan, and we know at Kansas he wasn't able to slide by Wes when he was.
That very same truck.
That's right. So Narain's saying this is working out better than Kansas.
Here's a look at the incident.
Oh, the 15 of Nelson Piquet Jr. was on the inside. He got loose. He had to chase this truck up the hill, and when he did, he made contact with Wes Burton.
And the wall. PK got into the outside. Look at the job Mario Goslin does. A great job getting to the bottom of the track. There's Brett Raymer. You're going to see Narain come slipping through here in a second.
And the 7.
Let's see if we can see what happens. Oh, he gets sideways.
Big time sideways and does make contact with the outside wall.
Okay, now listen. When he's driving away from everybody, that's why. He's running right on the edge. You can hear the tires squalling. He runs every lap just like that.
4 back. Coming inside you. Inside you.
And he kills the engine as he pulls away. You can only push this thing a few pit stalls, and now Donnie Lee gets away as we have caution.
The 85 of Brent Raymer on fire on the front stretch. A lot of damage to the front of that. You see Brent jumping out of that truck.
Well, I'm glad to see Brent get out of that truck.
Oh, that's a lot of fire. You're right, Brett.
See damage to the 39 of Ryan Sieg.
Before, he just caught on fire. Just simply caught on fire there. And it looks like it's inside the driver's compartment. Wow. Had to have a fuel line rupture or something like that, Michael. Had to be. Look at all the fire inside that cockpit.
And then he hit the wall on top of all that, Phil. That's just so scary. It's so good to see Brett Raymer jump out of that truck. You don't think that engine just hand grenaded, do you?
Well,
there was no smoke. There was just fire.
Why the fuel fire like that? And that looked definitely like a fuel fire.
More than an oil fire.
More than an oil fire.
There was no smoke.
Yeah.
There's the contact to the front of the truck, but after the fire broke out on this truck.
Looked like Brett did a smart thing. Like he tried to get the thing spun around backwards so that fire would blow away from him, but wound up hitting the wall a little bit, but walks away. You're right, Rick. We talked about that crash he had at Daytona. I've never seen anything any scarier than that. I mean, that load. He's going to make them up in a hurry too, Rick. He's stuck to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get around the 51 of Eric Almirola.
NASCAR notifying the 50, and problems for Ryan Sieg in the 39. He ducks onto pit road, and he is not slowing down.
Back it down, back it down, back it down.
Sure,
Come on.
his brakes are shot.
Come on, buddy, slow down.
Take a look up into the wall. The 39 goes.
Yeah, the right front tire goes. You're just along
Passenger.
for the ride. So caught a glimpse of Austin Dillon back on the racetrack after his left rear tire went down and put him in the outside wall on the backstretch early on.
It's broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mechanical issues claiming Brad Keselowski
Kicked out of
tonight.
gear.
Popped out of gear and
Oh,
maybe blew
Dennis
up.
Setzer. Hard contact.
In the 92, the right front and right side of that truck heavily damaged, and the caution comes out.
The top of your screen, obviously, looks like the right front tire went down on Dennis's truck, and pretty hard contact with the outside safer barrier.
He was right down on the bottom of the racetrack too. The worst place obviously to be when you blow a right front tire. If you run that high line, when the tire blows, you don't have that, you don't get all that momentum into the outside wall.
Donnie Leah in the 07, trying to clear the 56. Taylor Malsom.
Oh, he's
Smoke.
sideways.
Donnie Leah sideways across the field and into the inside wall.
What a great day Donnie was having. Qualified
Up in the front 2 rows.
right up front, solid run going, and it looked like it just got loose with him coming off turn 2. Couldn't tell if there was any contact or not. Eric Phillips is saying, okay, I'd rather not see him. Thing, just look at it, steps out on Donnie. He held onto it for a long time.
Elliott Sadler get by on the inside. There's Taylor Malsom.
Great job by
Right in the
Taylor
smoke
Malsom.
right now.
He didn't panic. He and Skinner both just hung out, let off the gas, coasted, didn't do anything aggressively, and waited for the track to clear, and it did. Unfortunately for Donnie Leah, it cleared into the inside wall.
So our 6th caution of the night. This time it's Donnie Leah that brings it out, and it's a 1-truck incident.
There's another view. He's just going to get gradually looser until he loses the back end. Watch this now. When he hits the inside wall with the front of that truck, he's on the brakes. You see him holding the throttle, nailing the throttle to keep that truck from backing into the outside wall. Now he's holding the brakes. He makes contact with the inside wall, and he's holding the brakes. But when he's going to let off the brakes, and then the truck is going to back in to the inside wall. Had he not let off the brakes, he wouldn't have had any damage to the back of that truck. Boy, it looked a little more precarious from that position for the 5 and the 56 than it did from the other view.
You know, and Donnie probably...
On. Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch on the outside gets a good start. Todd Bodine tucks in behind that 18 as they go into turn number 1.
These guys are going to run through this corner wide open. Look at Elliott Sadler on the inside of James Busher in a battle for 4th.
Todd Bodine right behind the 18, trying to draft off that 18 truck as they go into turn 3. Here comes the 33 of Hornaday. Hornaday trying to get on the inside of the 30 of Todd Bodine. Out of turn 4 through the quad oval. White flag in the air. 1 to go for Kyle Busch.
Let's see if Todd can make a run. He's going to go to the high side just for a second. Now he pulls back in behind him.
Kyle Busch down the backstretch.
3
truck lengths
right
in
there,
front of Todd Bodine. Bodine, one last chance, going through 3 and 4. Kyle Busch coming out of turn number 4. All he can see is the checkered flags. He wins in Charlotte.
Does a nice job. You see the tires smoking. That means he's get back in the throttle to keep that truck from backing up into the outside wall. And plus gets rid of some mosquitoes. While he's doing it.
Ron Hornaday slides to the top of the racetrack, trying to get by. Oh, look at that contact. The 81 of David Starr gets into the 01 of Joe Aramendia.
Justin
Lofton
gets
also
turned
involved
around
as well.
You got to watch the job that David Starr does in this crash.
Caution's out, caution's out.
3rd caution of the night comes out. The 81 of David Starr, hometown hero, involved. Joe Aramendia also involved in this in the 01. We saw the 7 get caught up.
That took a long time to develop. Something happened coming off turn 2, and they didn't wreck till they got all the way down to turn 3.
Well, let's take another look at it right here. The 01's going to move up the racetrack. David's going to try to go to his outside, and he was trying to get between the 7 of Justin Lofton and the 01, didn't quite make it. Now watch the 07 of Tony Jackson Jr. gets into Justin Lofton in the 7 truck and turns him into the outside wall.
Look, David Starr still hadn't crashed. He was trying to. He tried to all the way down the back straightaway, but he finally got ahead in the right direction. Just watch this 81 truck. He makes a mistake. I think he crowds up into Lofton, gets Lofton out of whack, spins into the 01, heads toward the outside wall, barely clips it. Watch, he keeps driving it, got it down to the bottom of the racetrack, kept going in the right direction. Big crash.
Tough break for Justin Lofton.
Yeah, Justin was just a victim. He was running his own line, and watch, David Starr tries to squeeze in a hole that isn't there.
This moved up a little bit. The 01 moved up a little bit, which forced David to move up a little bit, but unfortunately Justin Lofton in the 7 truck was there.
Also involved, you said it, the 07 of Tony Jackson Jr. So 4 trucks involved in this, the 3rd caution of the night, as we've passed the halfway point in this race, 167 laps, and there you see the damage to the 4 of Ricky Carmichael's truck.
We heard his spotters say that something broke. They wasn't sure if it was a tire or what, but something broke on that truck. And man, look at the damage on it, Phil.
Yeah, what a great run Ricky was having. He was green. You saw something definitely broke there. Looked like something maybe different than a flat tire, didn't it, Michael?
Certainly hard to tell. And the way that thing came to a rest over there, it's just.
I think he may have actually got into the inside wall as well.
It didn't come to a rest, did it? It came to an abrupt stop. He hit it hard on the inside wall as well, looks like.
You see top of your screen.
Of course, he's not in control of the truck at this point. It's just going wherever it wants.
Probably didn't have any brakes at that. And there's the contact with the inside wall.
So that's the reason for our 4th caution. It's the 4 truck. Let's take a look at our Dodge save of the race.
Hey, let's call it saves. This cat's been crashing half the race, but yet he's running the 7th spot. Check this out. Watch how many times he saves it here, Bill. 1, 2, 3.
And he had James Busher on his outside.
Oh no, guys, I don't think that truck will run 5 laps as hard as it hit.
Bodine in front of Hornaday by almost 0.3 of a second. Sauter, Dillon, and Nelson Piquet Jr. in the 5th position. David Starr is sideways, and Matt Crafton with a lot of damage as well. Our 6th caution of the night.
Wow.
That's a big break for Timothy Peters. Bad break for Crafton, obviously, but a very big break for Timothy Peters, a guy that was having a great night. It seemed.
Take another look at what just happened. Again, the 81 of David Starr involved.
Something broke. Or a tire went down on the right front of that Zachary Toyota. Matt Crafton came along with, ooh, look at Narain Karthikeyan barely get by there. Nice job by him to protect that great finish he has going.
Isn't that just the way it is some nights? Matt Crafton's had so much trouble tonight, and right there, there's nothing he could do. The truck inside of him had a problem with the right front. Looked like it might have blown a tire, and it just drove Crafton straight into the outside wall. We talked about this being a good break for Timothy Peters to be able to assess his damage a little bit and maybe make some repairs. Also a great break for Kenny Schrader. We saw him on pit road the last caution getting 4 fresh tires. He had to restart at the back of the field, so he didn't have a chance at getting a top 5 finish or maybe even possibly sneaking a win in. But now he's got a great chance at that because he's riding along in the 7th spot and he's got those fresh tires and a chance to get more.
Yeah, I think he's looking at a top 5 finish potentially for Kenny Schrader. But I'm telling you, I cannot wait for the scenario we have building right now.
It's perfect.
With Bodine and Hornaday up on the front row. Watch this. Listen.
Oh,
so violent.
Yeah. See Narain Karthikeyan go by just missing the front of this Zachary Toyota. Watch Matt Crafton absolutely has no idea what's going to happen.
And Bill, until you've done that and been inside of the truck when that happens, you don't know how bad that hurts.
Did it take your breath away?
It did. It makes me so happy I'm sitting up here. I'm glad.
Welcome back. Green flag back in the air. Todd Bodine takes the lead away from the 33 of Hornaday. Here comes Johnny Sauter for second. They go into turn number 1. Todd Bodine with a great restart.
What a great time for a great restart for Todd Bodine.
Now watch Hornaday. He's got it wound up on the outside, and he's got Austin Dillon pushing him, giving him that draft down the back straightaway. Here they come.
That's Mike Skinner pushing Ron Hornaday.
Oh, he gets Hornaday loose up the racetrack. Here comes Mike Skinner now. Skinner moves into the 3rd spot. Johnny Sauter holding on to 2nd.
Here comes Kenny Schrader. He's now going to get a hold to the back of Austin Dillon. White flags in the air. Todd Bodine's got a gap on him.
1 lap of racing to go. Todd Bodine has been the dominant truck. It looks as though he's going to make it 6 wins at Texas Motor Speedway. The battle now for 3rd.
Austin Dillon on the inside of Mike Skinner trying to grab that spot. Skinner tries to crowd him down.
Austin Dillon on the inside. Skinner on the outside. Kenny Schrader behind him watching. coming out of turn number 4. The 30 of Todd Bodine wins 6 times at Texas.
You guys are the shit, baby. Woo! How about it?
And Austin Dillon gets Mike Skinner at the line. Wow, by 4.
Kyle Busch has been very strong again. Busch started in the 8th spot, and by lap 4, he was already up front.
See back here. Ooh,
Oh,
trouble
spinner
already.
on the racetrack. That's
two trucks.
The 84.
Get her turn.
Chris Fontaine.
They missed the wall or not?
No, they're into the wall.
See the 84 of Chris Fontaine.
Brad Sweet in the 90
The
great
90.
clips truck there as well.
I don't know if Fontaine ever got the wall. I don't know if Sweet did either. I don't think.
If that's a mark on the wall there or not, I'm not sure. Look, top of your screen, that's the 90 of Brad Sweet. He gets together with the 84. He just passed another truck, and they got together with the 84. See, they're going to
Look at that synchronized spinning.
wow.
We've seen that before.
It's an Olympic event, or
Or a Kansas event.
just check it out. What happens is Sweet had some momentum coming off the second turn, had his wheels cut hard to the left, trying to lay off of Fontaine, got loose. The back end came around,
I'm going
and
to call
away
that.
they went.
I'm going to call that an 8 in synchronized spinning. What about the Russian judge, Mikey?
He gave him a 4.
Those Russian judges are tough.
And so they stop. A little bit of contact there for Brad Sweets. And that brings out our first caution, and it was on lap 4.
He just
Of a second. If they black flag him for that, then there's something wrong with it.
Plus, he's running 4th right now, sideways, trying to get underneath Timothy Peters. Timothy up to the 3rd spot. Oh, got a crash. Nelson Piquet Jr. off 4, sliding through the infield grass.
The Qualcomm number 15 slides into the grass. The caution comes out. Looked as though contact was made with the 15 and turned him around as they came out of 4.
Yeah, they were very heavy traffic right there that Nelson Piquet, because you probably have some grass up in those. See if we can take another look at it. He's on the inside. He makes contact with one of those white trucks and then just shoots him down to the inside. Watch this into pit road here. I mean, pit wall.
close.
Wow.
That would have tore the whole front end of that truck off.
That would have absolutely taken the front end of that truck off.
Let's see if we can see again. He's down on the inside of.
Looks like Justin Lofton in the 7 truck. Justin does a nice job of straightening that truck out.
Heck of a job. And I know what Nelson Piquet Jr. is doing right there. He's got his neck turned to the right, looking at the end of that wall, thinking, oh, no, please don't hit that. Please don't hit that.
There's another view. You see him. He got a little bit loose and had to chase it up the hill a little bit.
Wow.
Boy, Justin does an amazing
did
job.
A great job of
as
holding
well
to
as
it.
James Busher in that black truck, number 31, to avoid him.
I can't believe he didn't hit that wall. That was amazing. Todd Bodine says, I don't need that. That was a.
Well, it was virtually a dead heat on the restart, by the way, with Kyle Busch and Todd Bodine when they crossed the stripe. So NASCAR didn't even look at that. But that little slide there will put them side by side once again for the next restart.
It's going to be Eric Almirola running in the second position. Krista.
Nelson Piquet, the team taking 1 round of
Big.
He is driving his way to this
One to
victory
go right
if he
here,
can
one
do
to
it.
go. Still
1
clear by-
lap remaining. 1 to go for Eric Almirola. He has a 4-truck lead over Todd Bodine as they go into turn number 1.
Look at the big draft Todd Bodine gets on Almirola going into turn 1. Swings to the outside. You know, we had 6 Chevys up front when they started this thing. We got 3 Toyotas racing for the win.
Eric Almirola trying not to give anyone an advantage of the aerodynamic hole in the air, and it's Eric Almirola leading coming into turn 3, but here comes Todd Bodine making the charge on the high side. Down to the bottom goes Kyle Busch in the 18. Coming out of turn number 4.
Still
Can
halfback, looking out,
Almirola hold him
looking
off?
low. There you go. Good
Eric
job, bud.
Almirola
That's
will win at Michigan.
Great job, buddy. Great job. Woo!
Great recovery by.
For the Camping World Truck Series, it happens on lap 39, and that's because Steve Wallace cut a right front tire, and into the wall he went.
Yeah, Rick, let's take a look at what happened here.
Dead in the center of the turn. You can see him roll in there, and look, the right front tire looks fine. Boom, there it goes flat.
And look how that thing almost turns dead right. It really goes straight, but as a driver, you feel like it turned right.
That's exactly right. You can see this thing just abruptly go the wrong direction.
Yeah, and there was no contact between Steven and either one of these other 2 trucks. When it goes down, though, thank goodness for those safer barriers.
He was running 18th at the time, and he was about to get lapped because Austin Dillon was coming up.
2010 going to get here.
Has his teammate right behind him, Ray, and Kenny Schrader. Trouble on the racetrack.
The 51 of Eric Almirola into the wall. Now that was the big question. Would teammates have the same problem?
And less laps this time. Only about 30 laps since our restart. So
a lot of times you engineer these things, you design them out to get the most grip and put as Goodyear tires. That's their goal. They want to get all the pressure on those tires they can get. It's going to make it turn through the corner better. Sometimes you overload it with pressure. It makes it fast for a while, but it won't last.
This is what Matt Crafton saw when he was driving down in the corner. You see just up ahead.
Wow.
You know,
how violent that is.
We talk about this being a short track, Michael.
But a truck today.
Rewind back for the 5th position.
Uh-oh. Truck in the middle is pushing up.
Ryan Eichler in that 18 trying to keep it down.
Johnny Leah was in jeopardy there.
Bounce off the wall.
The 62, Greg Pursley, slides into the infield, and that brings out our 4th caution.
Yeah, he was just a victim. They got to racing really hard there. The 07 of Donnie Leah got to the wall. You see the damage on Brian Eichler's truck right there. The 30, there's Donnie bouncing off the wall, and actually the 18 came across the left front corner of Todd's truck, so he was headed towards the outside wall while this happened.
But did Todd turn the 07?
Take another look.
Does Todd turn the 07 into the 18 or the 8? Oh,
see, the 07 I think got into the outside wall, and the 18 came across Todd's nose and turned himself into the outside wall.
I think the 07 was the least at fault. I don't know that he was going to have any issues. Todd's. Yeah, the 07's fine.
I'm not sure he was. I don't think the 07 hit the wall until the 18 forced him in the wall.
And he didn't let off either. He was having a good run off the corner. Todd stuck his nose into a very, very small hole, and we know how hard it is to keep these trucks down exiting the corner. Watch, Todd's in that little bitty gap there, man. You can't go there.
Around 90 laps, and the caution light's out right now. We'll be able to figure it out.
Apparently you called for it. You got it, Phil.
Something's happened to Jason White down into turn 3.
Jay White in the 23, slow on the racetrack. He bounced off of the wall, and you see the right front down on that race truck.
His damage is not the same as we saw from the 2 Billy Ballou trucks. Those things were tore off.
In the air, Johnny Sauter with a great restart. Austin Dillon to the stripe first. We'll see how he does through 1 and 2.
I think Johnny Sauter right now is more concerned with his teammate maybe. He pulled down to block him. Austin's going to get the run off the corner.
There goes Austin Dillon. He has the run. Here comes the 88 of Crafton for second.
He's down at the bottom of the racetrack. Can he hold it down there? It looks like Crafton can hold it off Sauter. Sauter gets a run off the turn.
This time by. White flag will fly. Austin Dillon has the white flag. 1 lap to go for Dillon.
We know the next flag is going to end this thing.
And look at Dillon putting distance between himself and second place Johnny Sauter. Austin Dillon looking to become the 2nd youngest driver to find victory lane in the Camping World Truck Series. Coming out of turn number 4, we've got another first-time winner in the Camping World Truck Series. Austin Dillon wins at Iowa.
And look at the crowd. They love seeing that black 3 truck take.
Pulled over. I mean, it rolled completely over on the right side. And now a caution has come out. Oh, big contact. The 39 of Ryan Sieg into the wall hard. You see the right front damage on that truck.
And Ron should keep going down pit road. Don't even stop. Just pass through that speed, and that's exactly what I believe he's going to do. He's going to go.
Some serious issues with that truck. I wouldn't be surprised. You can see the wheels off of the.
It broke. You look at the center of the wheel.
Ryan Sieg had a wheel go away and it was on there.
There's the wheel flying back across the track. And we saw Ryan go sliding by right up against the wall.
Well, Matt Crafton had to dodge that tire.
I bet he ducked, you know.
Heads up play by Matt Crafton.
And so pit road is open. We know that Ron Hart.
Look at this wad of trucks all tied together. Mike Skinner down on the inside of Ricky Carmichael. Is that
4 wide coming through St. Louis. How about that one?
Wow.
Can't do that. Oh, but they did.
They tried it.
They can't get it sorted out.
James Busher in the 31.
Oh, we got a crash.
Ricky Carmichael around and backs it into the outside wall.
Looked like Mike Skinner.
Oh, and cars and trucks flying in there. That was the 6th that came in. That is Jeffrey Earnhardt that made contact after Carmichael came back down the racetrack.
Look at the damage on that 6 truck. That's hard contact.
Watch this now. There's the 5 of Mike Skinner. He gets into the corner. They make a little contact without a doubt. And that corner is so flat, there's no bank to catch you.
Watch this thing come across the track now, just fast.
Jeffrey Earnhardt had committed to the bottom. He was all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack, just as you mentioned, expecting that truck to probably stay up against the outside wall. See Hornaday go by, the 33 truck.
Second contact between Carmichael and Earnhardt.
There's the contact. You saw the little puff of smoke there. Ricky Harden in the outside wall. Then the wheels are turned hard right. Comes back down. Jeffrey all the way on the grass down there, thinking he was going to be okay.
You can see right here, I don't know. He definitely got into me, but I might have crunched down. I don't know. The rest is history. It's a bummer because we had a good point stay going and we worked our way up a couple times, and that's what happens when you get in the back of the pack for something silly, but we'll go on next weekend.
Thanks, Ricky. Glad you're okay.
Thanks.
I don't think Ricky really crunched down any. I believe that maybe Skinner was up off the bottom a little bit and they made contact. It's really unfortunate, like Ricky said, you're just racing, trying to survive together back there, and those two should have been able to make that corner and just didn't. That's what a championship is made of, is Kevin Harvick takes the white.
White flag in the air, 1.25 miles to go for Harvick. The battle still on, but smoke behind the 17 of Timothy Peter. He had an engine failure a week ago in Iowa. Is he going to have problems again?
And remember, his teammate had engine problems, the 7 of Justin Lofton.
There's enough oil coming out of that thing. He might not be able to get through the turn, Phil. And what about poor Matt Crafton? He's like, man, lucky break for Timothy Peters that happened on the last lap. He can't get black flag.
If he gets through 3 and 4, it's a lucky break.
Smoke coming out of the 17, but the 2 of Kevin Harvick dominant at Gateway.
Thank you.
Brad Keselowski.
And Richie asked him if there was any difference in the ends. He said yes, turn 1 and 2 much worse, and we've got a big crash in turn 1. 87 blew a right front tire or a motor.
Chris Jones into the wall, it looks like, in the 87. That brings out our first caution.
Right front tire went down on that.
Chris Jones out of his truck, taking a look at the damage. Here is after the contact was made.
I think Chris did a nice job of getting that truck slowed down. We caught a glimpse of that truck from the right side, and fairly minimal damage for cutting a right front tire down.
He just couldn't turn left when he got. There's that left rear tire. All the lettering rubbed off of it. Really lucky.
And problems coming off of 2. Mario Goslin involved in this, as well as Narain Karthikeyan.
It's Eric
Almirola is also involved in it. Narain's right in front of these 2. There's Narain, turned the wrong way. But it's Eric Almirola, Mario Goslin. They were pinched up against the wall.
Contact, left side not as bad.
Or look at the.
Well, we've talked about how these trucks converge when they exit the turn. You can go really low in the turn. You can run high, but when you get on the straightaway, momentum brings you together, and it looks like maybe that was the case there.
Yeah, sure was. We're just right up off the corners where the initial contact came.
And something happened with the 60. Obviously, Narain is going backwards when we came to that shot.
Yeah, I'm saying it's all related. They all three.
Nick got a little bit loose down on the inside of Donnie Lee, and watch, Phil, they make contact. Leah hits the wall, is able to save that truck, and by doing so, he now becomes the Aaron's lucky dog. He went from crash to getting back on the lead lap in the same corner.
Did you see how quick, though, Donnie Lee had turned that truck back to the left when his right rear corner hit the wall? A lot of times, with less experience, that would have swung the right front into the wall. Donnie Lee was already turning back to the left when that truck made contact with the right rear corner.
This is how the pit, 2.5 seconds behind him. Now, can it be cruise control for Hornaday, looking for his first win of 2010?
There's the white flag. We won't have a green-white checker tonight. Ron just makes this lap. He'll be our winner. You know, he's got a decision to make, though. Are we going to be able to get him a crew chief by Pocono? What are we going to do about that?
Stay tuned.
Got no pressure from behind.
He'll want to celebrate this before he worries about the next step in his career. 46th time. Ron Hornaday has been victorious in the Camping World Truck Series. Ron Hornaday is going to win again in ORP.
Thank you, Rick.
Holding off Kyle Busch, one of the best in the truck.
Mentioning that.
We have a new pole sitter, by the way.
We have a new pole sitter. It's Norm Benning.
Oh, trouble.
Oh, and around goes Jarek Johnson in the 00.
Okay, now this is a situation they talked about. If you're out on the track, caution comes out, they abort your run, you can come to pit road. Cool. So we're going to hit the reset button.
I'm sorry, Jarek Johnson in the 00.
Around he goes. And we've seen that earlier in the Cup practice. Rick and Phil, these guys were tail happy off of turn 1 over there today, like there was something going on over there almost. Every car was loose.
That's exactly what you were talking about. Remember, it was 5:30 to 7 o'clock local last night when this last practice happened. The racetrack was a whole lot different then than it is now.
It's a perfect sponsor.
Unwind.
Unwind that baby.
Elliott Sadler jumps out in front of Casey Kane and then moves in front of Casey Kane. There's what we were talking about. They're going to spread out as they come down that front stretch.
Denny Hamlin moved to the inside to make it 3 wide. There they are, at least 4 wide. Look at Matt Crafton.
Whoa. Jason White gets sideways. He goes. The 17 of Timothy Peters got into the back quarter panel. Let's see if he keeps it down in the grass and everybody stays straight. Other than Jason White.
Looked like Spaghetti Junction down there, and the caution flag is out.
We told you this was a tricky track, didn't we?
Well, and we also said nobody knows what these things are going to do when they go down into turn 1. You'll see back in here, you see the white truck down underneath the bottom of your screen there. He gets that's Peters in the 17. He just gets real loose and bounces up into the 23 of White, and around he goes.
Yeah, Timothy was really right up against the 23, then pulled away from him when he did. Then he got sideways and had to chase it and got into him again.
Did a nice job. Everybody did right here. All that smoke, you can't see a thing. But fortunately, we were just coming up to speed, so the guys were able to hang on to their trucks pretty good.
There's another view here. You see him get a little bit loose, catch it, makes contact with the left rear quarter panel, that Gunbroker Dodge. Jason does a nice job of nailing that throttle to keep that truck going forward, not allow it to back up into the outside wall.
Donnie Leo really did a nice
Junior in the number 6 that brought this caution out. He got into the wall in turn number 3.
Yep, and as they say, this changes everything.
All the strategy now goes out the window.
Yeah, now we're qualified.
And away went the right front tire of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Here you see him into the wall.
Yep, safer barrier there, caught him.
Thank goodness there's no safer barriers.
I don't know, Phil. Tires would be worth a whole lot. It would just depend.
The racetrack, he'll try to take second away from both Elliott Sadler and Todd Bodine.
He should have the advantage getting into the tunnel, and he does. And here comes little Dylan back there.
He gets into the 30. The 30 is sideways. Can he save it? Into the grass he goes, and the caution.
Oh, the brake. Coming at you.
Caution's not out yet.
We see the yellow on the top.
Here it is.
Out. Yellow's out here. Yellow's out.
Here
You're going to have to come to you with damage.
The caution came out. Todd Bodine was on the outside. Austin Dillon forcing the issue, got inside of the 30 and made contact.
Austin wanted to follow the 18.
There they are coming off of turn 1 right here. This is the start finish line, I mean.
Yeah, this is the lap before when they get this. This is Todd really getting into the back of the 2 truck of Elliott Sadler, pushing him, bump drafting him all the way down here to catch up with Denny Hamlin in the 15. I think Elliott said, I don't like that. Get off my bumper. And he gave Todd the outside.
When they come off this corner side by side, though,
this is where
18 of Casey Kane is going to get such an incredible run here. These trucks, as you talk about, punch such a big hole in the air. Look at that draft suck him up there, Darrell.
Now, he tried this same move here in the spring race in the Cup car, and he got run off the racetrack, caused a big wreck. But today he's going to make it. But here comes Dylan.
Watch Austin now.
Now, he thinks he's going to try to follow through. And Todd and he just made a little contact.
Well, they were side by side at one time. It looked like Austin realized that Todd may be trying to come down. He tried to get out of the throttle to give Todd room, and unfortunately just clipped him.
The world's greatest drivers enter that turn and make that same mistake. So it doesn't have anything to do with being a rookie, I can tell you.
See, Austin is up about to the door, Todd.
And he got his left sides off. He hit the curb, too, and it shot him up just a little wee bit. But he was being squeezed down by the 30, so I don't know. That's the nature of that corner.
It looks like Todd doesn't have any damage. I watched the splitter, and it looks like he did not have any damage to the splitter. We already heard him say on the radio they didn't think he had any flat tires. There's another view of this run that Casey Kane gets now. He's able to clear these 2 trucks when they get to the tunnel.
Boy, and if you're Casey Kane, you're drawing up in the seat. You're saying, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? I cleared him.
And Austin knows that the 30 truck is on the outside. I don't think he had any idea that Todd was going to try to get back in behind and pull down to the inside.
Yep, Todd Bodine looked like he wanted to get in behind Elliott Sadler after they had gone through that turn.
Yeah, right now Todd is probably just a little wee bit frustrated that the 18 is going to get this run down into the corner here.
See, when Austin makes that run
there,
the 30s is on the outside of the 2.
Way on the outside. See the 18 slip by on the inside over the tunnel. I told you can't run across here barely too wide, and I think the 2 truck really shaded the 30 being on the outside, and when Austin got there and the 30 came down, I just don't think he was expecting that.
Couldn't that be a spotter issue as well? I mean, that's a long ways away from us and from the spotters.
Well, look where Todd was on the outside of the 2 truck here, and then look when he started to try to get behind the 2 truck to follow him through the tunnel turn. Inside, David Starr has a little bit fresher tires than some of these guys do.
I think that's obviously going to be an advantage for him.
Hornaday on the outside. They battle for
trouble.
Oh, turns around. That's the 21 of Donnie Leah.
Big damage on that white truck back there. Truck's going down pit road. That's Hamlin.
Hamlin goes down pit road.
That was a 64 of Chase Mattioli that made contact with Donnie Leah.
Big time. I mean, both trucks pretty torn up.
5th caution of the day.
Went to the outside here. Did he get loose and chase it up the hill?
Oh, no.
Or did they just get together a little bit?
I think they just made contact, and the truck on the inside, the 3 truck, got loose and got into Hamlin.
Tough break for Denny Hamlin. Had such a great truck, ran up in the top 3 or 4 positions this entire race. See a little bit of damage to the right side of Austin Dillon's truck. He's going to running beside of Ron Hornaday right now.
See the 21 on pit road. Now that's Donnie Leah. Take a look. This is turn 3. Leah gets sideways.
He gets sideways. Look at Todd Bodine just barely get by. Chase Mattioli with absolutely nowhere to go makes pretty significant contact.
Yeah, Leah came down right in front of Chase Mattioli in the 64 and just nailed him.
What a huge dodge that was for Todd Bodine, our point leader. Watch Todd now. That was him going right by the 21.
The good for Todd Bodine, these late cautions, you know, he's got 4 tires, and we've already seen what that did for David Starr in 81. Don't count old Todd out.
Todd right now is being shown in the 17th position.
Big hit there. Chase Mattioli getting into the side of Donnie Leah.
But the other thing is, boys, we're running out of laps. We're on lap 46 here.
Right along with Todd Bodine.
See that 21, 2 trucks ahead of him.
Yeah. Woo. Best news a driver can hear. Caution's out, it's behind you.
Yeah. And it was barely behind him.
Yeah.
Here it is real time. Watch that 21 here. Right side of your screen. Todd just squeezes by Chase Mattioli. Absolutely nowhere to go.
Goes Denny Hamlin down pit road.
Got loose. Several trucks getting by him.
3 and 4 wide down Long Pond straightaway, all chasing the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
And I tell you, a guy that's tucked in there, that's the 30 truck, is right up in the middle of that wad right there, and he's coming forward.
3 wide through the tunnel.
And Hornaday sideways in the tunnel turn.
All behind, you got it.
Nobody hits him as he slides into the grass, and he makes contact with the inside wall.
Caution out.
We will try it again. Hornaday. Extensive damage to that truck.
Looked like he got some contact from the 13 of Johnny Sauter.
Started in turn 1, didn't it, Phil?
Yeah.
I mean, when he got in a little bit of trouble down there, lost some spots.
He had some contact.
For sure.
Here we are, 3 wide. Hornaday's on the outside.
He's on the outside. The 13 of Johnny Sauter gets a little bit loose. Has to chase it up the hill just to that little bit. Made that contact with the left rear quarter of the 33.
Do you see the 30 slip by again? All that right behind him.
Yeah, and Ricky Carmichael,
this
who's
is
normally
turn 1.
caught up.
Darryl, this is what we were talking about. Ron had some contact from somebody. Watch all these other trucks go by him. Now he was running up in the top 5 or 6. Now he's all the way back to about 10th, and then they go through this corner 3 wide. Looks like maybe there was a little contact between Timothy Peters and the 13 of Johnny Sauter. That forced Johnny up a little bit. He got a little bit loose and caught Ron.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the 30 truck didn't get into the back of the 13 and push him up there just a little wee bit. Let's see what happens back here, Phil. This is where it really kind of started.
Looks like the 33 and the 81 make a little contact. That's what caused Ron his momentum. Let's see if we can carry this down to turn number 2 and see if there's some contact maybe with the 30 and the 13 going in this corner. There's a 30 of Todd Bodine, middle of your screen.
Right there.
There may have been a little contact, although the 13 was very, very close to the 17 on the inside as well. These guys do a terrific job avoiding Ron Hornaday as he spins through the traffic.
Looked like a bunch of bowling pins to me. Yeah. Everybody was bouncing off of somebody.
There was the contact, got the 33 sideways. And then amazingly enough, everyone able to avoid Ron as he cut across the track. Battling for second, coming out of turn number 3. Elliott Sadler would love to see the white flag and get across the stripe. One lap to go for Elliott Sadler, looking for his first win in the Camping World Truck Series.
That means the next flag is going to end this race, whether it's a checker or the caution, side by side for second.
I don't see anybody catching that 2 truck from here.
Mike Skinner trying to make this an interesting battle for that second spot as he was looking down below the 88 of Matt Crafton. But now Crafton holding on to the 3rd spot. It's Casey Kane in second.
When those 2 trucks with the 18 and the 88 got side by side just for a lap or so, that allowed Elliott Sadler in the 2 truck to drive off and leave these guys. Kane's going to make a great run at him, but I just don't think he's got enough to get there.
Through the tunnel turn. One more turn to go for Elliott Sadler. Elliott Sadler, another driver looking to complete the triple. He's got a win in the Cup Series, a win in the Nationwide Series, but he's looking for the first win in the Camping World Truck Series. Elliott Sadler is going to win the first race at Pocono for the trucks.
Look at these trucks, 3 and 4 wide up in the top 10.
All right!
That's fun.
What a good down through the grass, though.
Check out how high he is.
Into the infield grass. That brings out our second caution of the night.
How'd you like to be sideways, 140 mile, 30 or 40 miles an hour heading for the grass? He does a nice job of not only saving the truck from a crash, but kept it on the lead lap, got to pit road, got him some fresh tires, and he's ready to go.
Yeah,
out of turn 4. White flag goes in the air. 1 to go for Kyle Busch. Kevin Harvick, 0.6 of a second behind at the stripe. Some trucks between Kyle Busch and the finish line.
Looked like Kevin lost the front end down there, trying so hard. Looked like he lost a little ground.
I guarantee he's gritting his teeth. He can just see Kyle slipping away from him.
The last time Kyle Busch went to victory lane here, he was handed a guitar. He decided he would hit it on the ground to try to distribute the pieces to his teammates. We'll find out what he does here. He wins for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Come on, get you some of that.
First win for Kyle Busch in his own truck. That's got to be a great.
About this racetrack, and as from the driver's standpoint, how do you like it?
It's a lot of fun. I mean, we run basically wide open through 1 and 2. We lift a little in 3 and 4, just break it a little bit, but we didn't get the ball line that I wanted. But nonetheless, hopefully they'll stay in the top 10 somewhere, and we can race them with our in-country television curb record Chevy. But we just track positions, everything. I think it's gonna be really tough to pass tonight.
Driver 13 currently 3rd as Brett Butler had problems on track.
And he almost hit the wall on lap 1, Rick. I noticed Brett awful high down there, loose on entry. Why did he go so far up the track? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, got loose and wiggled. And we talk about this racetrack being narrow. If that's Atlanta, he's got double that room to catch that truck. But obviously with this narrow racetrack, ran out of room.
You can see right there on the way in, the thing just turned sideways with Brett. And after that, he was along for the ride. Did a nice job of keeping it headed in the right direction and minimizing the damage to that truck. But
it's deceiving. Phil, you mentioned the word narrow, and we see all of that pavement in there, but really the track is from the white dotted lines up.
That's superfluous.
Yeah.
Bottom of the screen, Todd Bodine making the move on Eric Almirola for that 5th spot. You guys we're going to watch him, right? He's a guy we think does have the experience and can get up front and have a chance to win this.
Oh, problems in turn number 1. We've got 3 trucks around.
Dennis Setzer's around. Mario Goslin, the yellow truck, is just taking off now.
Kenny Schrader came in there late, got her slowed down, made his way through that mess, so he'll pick up another couple spots. He had already raced his way up, guys, to the 23rd.
We'll see the 3 trucks that are involved.
I don't see much damage on the front of.
There is definitely some damage right above the front bumper. Here's a late. See Mario Goslin, the yellow number 12. There's Dennis Setzer.
Look sneaking around here on the inside. Schrader's got her all slowed down. Jennifer Jo Cobb goes to the bottom and makes her way around. I can't.
There was some contact as they went in turn number 1 with somebody.
It started real early. They were almost up on the straightaway still, I believe.
Right along with Mike Skinner here.
There's Johnny Sauter on the inside.
There it is.
Yep.
Somebody gets into Dennis Setzer and just spins him around. The black truck spun Setzer around. Looks like Mario Goslin, some of those other trucks decided to needed to make some evasive moves to making the trying to make the move, and Austin decided he needed to get in the corner a little bit deeper to hold off Jason, but the only problem was Stacy was there.
Matt Crafton took a look to the inside of
trouble. And around goes Jason White. Can he keep it pointed the right direction? He stays in the gas. Now he's down on the apron.
He actually forced the three of Austin Dillon into the outside wall. They were racing together. They made some contact when they got down in the corner. Jason turns. They get down in the corner there. There's the contact right there. That part of the racetrack automatically sends you up to the outside wall, and Jason was going to take that outside line, and Austin was there, and they made just a little bit of contact. Jason tried his best to stay off of Austin, but watch Austin now. Watch him get sideways and get up in the outside wall.
Yeah, that's pretty good contact, but you know, that's a Darlington stripe. You'll see other guys have that same amount of contact. He could still win the race with a truck that hit the wall that hard. So
right along with Ricky Carmichael.
Watch what Ricky sees, man. These guys go everywhere. He sees an exit path there around the outside of Johnny Sauter, and he knew he needed to get on the gas and clear that mess.
This is Jason White on board. Take a ride here at Darlington.
We normally talk about this corner being single file through here.
Listen to him work the gas, Bill.
He did a nice job not letting that truck get up into traffic.
I've got to commend our camera operator, too. He was able to keep the camera pointed the right direction, even when the truck wasn't.
He's behind top Bodine.
Oh, he's sideways.
Got sideways, had to chase it up the hill. Had to chase it to 8 feet up the hill to where the wall was.
This was the second time into the wall. Bell had some problems with his truck. Into the wall he went, and now here come your race leader. Back of the hook. You see him into the wall there.
Wow.
It had the looks of maybe a cut down right front tire.
Was that the whole race? I think there's more to this story. I think that he got into the wall there, maybe cut a tire, maybe got a fender in on a tire, and then wound up crashing into the wall. You can see there a lot of damage to the right front. So that was probably what caused, you see the brake rotors, the brake rotor falling apart, pieces coming off that truck. That was probably the reason why he hit the wall. There's the big hit.
Yeah. Remember, he was running with Kenny Schrader the first time around when he scrubbed it, and this is the same part of the racetrack, and it took a lap for that whatever fender brakes.
A little bit of contact. That's your classic Darlington stripe, but he's lost his momentum. You can see Skinner dives to the inside of Ricky down into turn 1, and that just gets him up too high. He gave Skinner the room Skinner needed, and that was a result. That spin was a result of the contact he made off turn 4. We talked about how important it is to keep your momentum. He lost his, and watch Skinner dives to the bottom. He gets too high, and around he goes.
Had the right sides up and the loose stuff there. It's hard to believe that you can have any loose stuff up against the wall.
The difference this time, 0.448 the difference. And caution on the racetrack. It's the 6th caution of the night.
Something happened off turn 4.
There's a truck right there. Is that Donnie Lee in the 07?
Yep, Donnie Lee.
That's more than a Darlington stripe there. That's a crash.
Yeah. Tire went down for Donnie Lee, but again, we don't know if there may have been some contact with the outside wall that precipitated that.
We caught that earlier with TJ Bell. We saw him scrubbing along the wall. Same tires leading the race. The caution flies. These guys all come to pit road.
And problems. Mario Gazza gets into the wall. He collects the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. Now back down the racetrack. Let's make sure that he doesn't get into the path of any of the other drivers. He stays clear, but hard hit to the inside wall for Ricky Carmichael as well.
Just a wrong place at the wrong time for Ricky Carmichael. It seems like that's been a good majority of the season. See, Mario, that's 2 weeks in a row with pretty significant damage to the tire monkey.
Yeah, that's hard crash there. We talked at Nashville that he didn't really have the trucks to be reckoned like he did at Nashville, and this is another one that's going to be a big hit for Ricky Carmichael. He got clipped right in the right rear quarter panel, and it just turned him.
See, Mario just got loose getting down in the corner, tries to keep it up against the wall, but he clips the right rear quarter of Ricky Carmichael's truck and turns Ricky just about head on into that wall.
And Ricky makes more contact with the inside wall.
Yeah, by this time he has no brakes. He probably broke a brake rotor when he hit the outside wall. There's Mario, gets into the outside wall, and then watch him just clip the corner of that truck and puts him at least at a 45-degree angle anyway.
You just have to be so thankful for these safer barriers. Haven't hit that concrete before, Phil, like you and I have. You watch this angle Ricky Carmichael hits this wall with, heading there with his foot wide open on the floor and driving straight into that wall. Man, that hurts so bad.
Well, let's ride along with him and see what it sounds like.
As you mentioned, back in the throttle.
Wide open.
Wide open. Now hits the inside wall again, more than likely, no brakes. The only thing in his favor were all the wheels were pointed in the wrong direction. Why the truck wasn't any faster when it hit the inside wall. Here's real time. Watch him just turn right into the outside wall.
What do you need, about a foot or so to
That's about all.
To be clear? Instead, he's got a totaled out race truck.
Eichler's got the advantage. Now here comes Lofton again. He'll take that position. Oh,
what about Peters? He drives around Hornaday, grabs the second spot.
Oh, problems right behind him. The 7 of Lofton gets into the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Wow.
A lot of damage to that 5 truck of Mike Skinner's.
Pretty much done, boys.
That's a good assessment of the damage.
I'm coming to pit road.
Lofton was down on the inside.
He's going to head straight to the garage as well. You see.
Yep, just what we thought. He was down on the inside.
Brian Eichler. Remember, there's a little bit of history with those two drivers from maybe from last weekend.
Well, Eichler, in my opinion, didn't do anything wrong last weekend, and I don't think he did anything wrong there.
81 of David Starr, making a little bit of damage to the back of that 7.
There's Mike Skinner's truck. That's when he makes contact with the 7 of Justin Lofton.
You can see Lofton down on the inside. Gets loose on the entering the corner and sideways. Great job by David Starr, just holding his ground, making sure he didn't make any evasive moves.
What a close call for Johnny Sauter to make it through there.
In 16th or something. Well, this is the same truck that they had that day at Dover. And there's Eichler into the wall hard this time. He will definitely come to the pits now, and that should bring out a yellow.
Yeah, that was inevitable. You knew that was going to happen. I hate that spotter and the team didn't get with him and say get to pit road, because he hit hard enough, and you can see he drives down into turn 3. The right front tire goes flat. It puts him into the outside wall. You know, he was second. This 18 truck was second in the owner's points this year. Just a handful of points off Todd Bodine for the lead. This will certainly hurt those chances of winning that owner's championship as a Toyota. Kyle Busch obviously would love to win that in his rookie season.
Listen in.
Again, that was inevitable after that initial contact coming off the corner, bouncing off that wall. You know that
Peters going around the slower lap traffic as well. White flag in the air. Todd Bodine gets it. Timothy Peters trying to reel him in one more lap.
David Starr lays up ahead of Todd Bodine. Looks like Todd's going to have to deal with him, which will allow Timothy Peters to gain on Todd.
Slows his momentum just a bit. We'll see if Timothy Peters can capitalize on it.
Look at that, how much he's moving in.
Todd did a nice job of getting by David Starr. If he would have had to follow him till he got off for 2, it would have been trouble.
The final turn. Todd Bodine comes out of turn number 4. He'll go back-to-back in the Camping World Truck Series. Back to victory lane.
Experience pays off tonight at Darlington. Imagine that.
I just had a feeling it might. But
Here,
Timothy,
boys, I'm proud of you. Way to work your butts off. No burnout, dude. Chicago motor.
Ray was talking about that practice incident with Austin Dillon. Here's a look.
Austin was coming off the racetrack after practice and misjudged it and came in a little too hot. You see the damage on that Bass Pro Shop Chevy.
The barrel's still on it.
Ran into the barrels coming off turn number 2. The barrels that protect the end of pit wall.
I got some good news for Austin, but then Brad.
Watch Brad now. He's going to basically spin out here. You see him get a little bit loose. He thought the thing would catch it, finally didn't. But watch it. Watch the rear tires. He lets off the brake and the truck turns and straightens right out.
But you could see how long that right front tire slid, Phil, and I think it burnt.
Not get it in 4th gear. Keep your eye on the number 2.
Well, I liked him picking the outside. We saw what happened to Brad Keselowski.
Problems in turn number 1. Austin Dillon's involved.
Donnie Lee, I think the 07 goes around.
Get turned around here as quick as you can.
Chris Jones just maybe skint you see the right front damage to Austin Dillon's truck.
That's a lot of damage on that truck.
You're right.
There's 2 other trucks here at almost at the start finish line. You see the 07 of Donnie Lee forces the 21 of Jake Crum into the outside wall. Then it turns Donnie sideways. Austin, with nowhere to go, makes contact. Look at Todd Bodine, our point leader, just get by the 3 of Austin Dillon.
Oh, and then Austin gets hit again.
That's Chris Jones, the 87, just knocks that front fascia off.
Now watch this. Donnie Leah just does not give Crum any room at all. Squeezes him in the outside wall. And watch how hard Austin hits him. Boom.
Straightens it back out.
I'm not sure that maybe Donnie Leah didn't receive the least amount of damage of all the trucks, and he's the one that caused that mess.
And Donnie Leah and Jake Crum are teammates at S&S Greenlight Racing.
Things happen fast around this racetrack.
Kyle Busch, he heard him grab third gear even before he got to turn number 1.
He wanted to make sure he had plenty of options, get that thing down on a lower gear, and if he needs to make a move in a hurry, he would have the power to do it. I love that move by Kyle Busch.
Here's Donnie, just squeezes Jake up in the outside wall. Jake could not have gone any higher.
Well, you're right.
He could have got on top of the wall, I guess. So maybe he could have gone a little higher.
Look at these guys doing a great job. We heard Kyle Busch downshifting. Todd Bodine just snaking his way through. Chris Jones down on the bottom just couldn't seeming like get his car. But can he hold on down there?
How about Hornaday squeezing Skinner up?
Oh, problems for the 10 of Jennifer Jo Cobb. It looks as though the 18 of Kyle Busch maybe got into the 10. So Jennifer Jo Cobb spins on the front stretch, and that brings out our 4th caution.
She drives away, though. Didn't get a lot of damage to that 10 truck. Dives in on her, gives her a little bit of a shove.
You know, he's wanting to go. He sees Todd Bodine. He sees Johnny Sauter going. Just gets in the back of her coming off turn 4 and around she goes. She does a nice job. I think she absolutely missed the inside wall. Going to get another view here.
How many times in the history of Bristol, Phil, have you been backwards and spinning around and don't collect that inside wall? Usually you're going to drive straight into it. She did a
John King in the 46, first ever start
in his debut. I think Bill Elliott's up on top spot for John King, so I know he's getting a lot of good advice. Oh, contact.
Around they go
into the 6.
Turn number 1. The 6 driven by Clay Greenfield.
Austin Dillon makes a little bit of contact with the left front of that truck now.
You know, he's having a lot of problems with the front of that truck today. It started with those yellow barrels right there.
There's Dennis Setzer on the inside. He slides up the racetrack a little bit, gets a little bit loose, has to chase it, gets in the left rear quarter panel of the 6 of Clay Greenfield.
Clay had gotten an Aaron's lucky dog earlier. Look at Austin Dillon. He just locked the brakes down and it slid right into Greenfield. See Setzer, he's trying to work the bottom. We've seen already tonight how hard that is. And Dennis, if he can't do it, you know it's hard because he's one of the best short track racers in the world.
There's Johnny Sauter right there. We're going to follow right along with Kyle Busch.
Kyle to the outside of that mess.
Wow. And Kyle thought, well, it's a pretty good time to dive to the outside right there. They all reckon on the bottom of me. Watch this move he makes around the top. See him duck to the right.
He goes way on the outside of Johnny Sauter. Johnny had to slow down for Clay Greenfield, who spun right in front of him, and Kyle just drove by on the outside.
Looked like there was a little bit of contact.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Had the pull. There's Todd Bodine, our point leader on the inside.
Oh, we got a spin. Hornaday loses control of his truck.
Hornaday into the inside wall on the backstretch.
Minimal contact, though.
Caution is out for Hornaday.
We got the nose. I don't know how bad.
6th caution of the night.
It looked like he had some sort of a problem. David Starr gives him a break and didn't make it 3 wide. And there he is on the inside of the... Oh, he makes contact with Mario Gosselin. That's what happened. That's why he went around.
Ron just went up the racetrack a little bit high. Mario Gosselin was there.
That's the 3rd truck we've seen spin, just trying to run underneath of another truck. You can see his truck gets a little bit high off. There's the contact, and around he goes.
And that little touch was all it took to turn that nose of that truck to the left and spin him out.
He'll come to pit road and work on the front of that number 33 Tide Chevy, but I don't believe there's enough.
The young man, number 46, John King, in the 4th position. Elliott Sadler running 5th. Oh, around goes the 85 of Brent Raymer.
Everybody's able to get by here. No caution yet. Now caution.
It'll be basically the same, but it'll have fresher tires for later in the race. What do you think? He's already good. You could see there how Brent Raymer goes around. But what do you think about
water temperature on number 88 when they trouble? The 10 just got in trouble with the 31. Big damage for James Busher as they roll off the corner.
Yeah, and a lot of damage for Jennifer Jo Cobb as well. So Busher and Jennifer Jo Cobb involved in this, the 8th caution of the night.
Yeah, Jennifer Jo Cobb had spun out and she was sliding down the racetrack when James Busher came by. James had... See, there's Jennifer Jo Cobb. Now watch when she comes down the racetrack. James committed to the bottom. He was actually on the apron. And when she came down the racetrack, he had nowhere to go.
You know, you're going so fast here. He's entering that corner at over 100 miles an hour. He can't just all of a sudden change directions. He saw her spinning, thought she was going to stay on the track. Commits, got a truck sideways down in turn.
Sideways goes the 48.
46 of John
King. The 46 goes sideways. The caution comes out.
It's out of the back of is that Kyle Busch's?
Yeah, he
just had gone a lap down. Just got a little bit loose getting in the corner. Did a nice job not making any contact with anything.
Look
Full
the back
damage
end.
to the back of that.
Brett Raymer 3 wide.
Action's picking up. 37 laps to go.
And all this is happening with Kyle Busch just about a half a straightaway ahead of these two. Oh, he's going to turn
into the wall.
They're
The 17 of Timothy Peters and the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Yeah, I hear.
Elliott Sadler looked to straighten it back out, but there is damage to the 17, and he is not happy with the 2 of Elliott Sadler.
Well, it looked like Elliott had just a piece of his nose on the outside of Timothy, and Timothy crowded.
Elliott has a little bit of a run, a little bit of momentum, and he just had that momentum. When Timothy pulled up in front of him, he just ran in the back of him. I don't think it was a situation where Elliott said, I'm going to run up here and run in the back of him. He just came on him a little bit quick here. I think he thought he might be able to have that lane open on the outside, but then when Timothy came up and closed it up, then they made the contact.
And I think you're exactly right, Phil. And the thing that you said just before this happened, as you can see, they're off 2. There's a bit of a hole, then there isn't. Boom. They make contact.
Yeah, when they did, they got hooked together. You could hear Elliott obviously out of the throttle.
But Elliott also had the opportunity to get out of the gas a bit and not run into the back of the 17.
Well, certainly, but Phil said something that was key just before that happened.
Surprisingly, we're still under all the caution. Just comes out now for the 2 of Elliott Sadler. He got into the wall in turn 3 and 4. The caution just coming out. So it did.
Into turn 3, right front tire blows out. Up to the wall he goes.
Brad Keselowski does a nice job avoiding him. He's in a fierce battle with Mike Skinner and Eric Almirola. I mean, another look as he gets down in turn number 3.
Turn 3, there's the demise of Elliott Sadler tonight. That's where he and
Timothy Peters.
Timothy got together, and now his right front tire goes flat. That's a helpless feeling, huh, Phil?
Yeah, it sure is. And fortunately, I don't think he didn't make as much contact as he could have.
By the stripe. 2 laps of racing to go.
2nd through 5th, they can't work it out side by side. Oh, inside. What a great
81
run.
of David Starr, and there's more contact. Ken Schrader gets into him. Dennis Setzer goes around. The 4 of Ricky Carmichael involved.
And remember the fuel situation. Now we're going to go overtime. We know Kyle Busch has to be low on fuel.
Brett Raymer in the 85 able to avoid Ken Schrader.
He's raced all over the world, but he's hurting right now.
See, David Starr was on the inside of Justin Lofton, it looked like.
Yep.
They make contact. Kenny Schrader comes along after David bounced off the inside wall, was headed back to the outside wall.
That was
Miguel
Paludo got into the 92 of Dennis Setzer.
And then Ricky Carmichael came along and got a part of that wreck as well.
So a lot of damage.
See, here comes Kenny.
Out.
I mean, that's just that's as fast as you're going right there, Phil.
Yeah.
He dove into turn. Wow, look at the 17 truck just slipped through the middle of that. He dove down into turn 1 as fast as he could be going, and he made hard contact with David Starr.
Yeah, upwards of 130 or 40 miles an hour as they entered that corner. Here's real time. Here's David. He hits the inside wall. Now he heads to the outside. Kenny comes by, as you mentioned. He's in the corner absolutely as hard as he can get in the corner. He'd already committed.
Sparks flying.
1 hour here, it wouldn't be bad at all.
Thanks, Kenny, and we're glad you're okay.
Thank you.
2 big hits for Ken Schrader.
Man, this race has gone to lap 203 now. Phil, to get
doesn't go. He's got to be able to figure out how to get around him.
And
Here
look
the
at
field
that
comes out of turn number 4. Kyle Busch into the gas. Green flag out. He's got it through 1 and 2. And he's checking out down the backstretch. Does he have enough?
How about Tom O'Neill racing up in the top 5 right now?
Here comes Hornaday to the inside of Mike Skinner. Got a spin. White flag out. as they spin behind him.
Caution flag.
Kyle Busch took the white flag. We'll see if NASCAR says it's official. Kyle Busch was across the stripe when the accident was happening behind him in turn 4. And listen, you can almost hear it. It almost sounded like
checkered flag is in the hand of the flag person.
Sure enough. Kyle Busch will win 3 in a row at Bristol.
For Kyle Busch to get to the checker flag.
So this is the problem behind Kyle.
Kyle's coming off turn 4 to take the caution flag. There's a spin.
The 9 of Max Pappas, the 3 of Austin. They took the white, and he was across the stripe just as this happened.
You can see Matt Crafton pushes into Austin Dillon, shoves him up the track. Austin gets into Max Pappas, and that causes the crash, and that's why Austin Dillon wasn't too happy with Matt Crafton.
Watch the flag person. That's Sarah up in the flag stand.
They're well past the start finish line.
Well past that before the lights come on.
And then you saw the lights come on.
Yeah, the lights actually are triggered from the tower.
Yep.
So that's really what's official. And they were well past the start finish line when the lights came on.
You can see here the crash happens right now, but man, they're traveling 100 miles an hour, and that was in slow motion. You can see how far they are past the start finish line.
The caution lap just came out. They were really entering turn number 1 when the caution lights came on.
The tires have looked good all night long. Save fuel. We may try to go to the end. That would be a tall order. They last pitted at lap 81, and now we have problems. Top left of your screen. There's James Busher around.
The 3 got into the 31, the 31 into the wall, and so now it brings out our 4th caution of the night. James Busher trying to get it straightened back out. The 3 got into the 31 and turned it around.
James was able to keep it number 1. Watch Austin. He's going to get loose down here and have to chase the truck up the hill. And when he does, he catches that left rear corner of James's truck. James gets into the outside wall with that right rear corner, but he does keep it off the inside wall.
Slides around in the grass, comes to a stop, fires it back up. Take another look.
Oh man, Austin just lost control. Look at Austin. He almost catches that outside wall and then doesn't really know which way to go with James sliding along.
That's going to open up the possibilities, I think, with 25 laps to go, Michael, as we watch the onboard. Listen to this now.
Did you hear him using that gas pedal to try to keep that thing from backing up in the outside wall? Look how close he comes to the inside wall.
A great restart by the 18, a slow restart by the 33 of Hornaday.
Looked like Ron missed a shift. He had a big run on Todd Bodine. He was going to be able to make his life even more difficult, but his momentum was lost. Now it's up to Kyle Busch and Todd Bodine to settle it between them.
Down the back stretch they go. The 17 of Timothy Peters making a run. Or Justin Lofton, excuse me, in the 7 making a run.
What about Justin up in the top 5?
For the 2nd week in a row, potentially.
Coming out of turn 4, Kyle Busch now. We'll see the white flag one more time around Chicago.
What's Todd going to do? Is he going to try to get to the outside of him, Michael?
I think he's going to tuck down low there and see if he can do something with him in the other end. Runs the same tire tracks that Kyle Busch runs off turn 2. Kyle tries to block to the bottom. Todd stays high.
Down the back stretch they go. A 2-truck length advantage for Kyle Busch as they enter turn number 3. Kyle Busch trying to make it 2 wins in a row. The only driver to win at Chicagoland, and he will keep it perfect. Chicago is Kyle's town.
2 for 2 in the Truck Series here in Chicago.
And 4 NASCAR victories in a row.
Kyle Busch can.
That was an amazing finish. It happened with 3 or 4 laps to go, but that effectively finished the race for us. I don't think I could have handled anything else. What a finish.
And the 47 of Jeffrey Earnhardt is turned around, bringing out our first caution.
We spun out, boys. Looks like we made a little contact here.
A little contact to the rear of that.
You guys get suited up. Let's get ready here. Got any flat tires?
See the right rear corner of that fuel dump.
Definitely one of them's flat spot. Let's see if we can see what happens.
He was at the back of about 4 trucks running together. You see, makes a little contact with the safer barrier in the left rear corner.
How did he spin out there? Wasn't he? That was awful early in the turn.
Maybe got a little loose going in, and then finally got away from him. We're going to ride on board with him.
We're going to find out how it happens. Just loose on entry, like you said. Does a good job getting back on the gas and keeping it out of that outside wall, and he suffering any more damage than he did. You hear the tire go flat there?
To Todd Bodine. Bodine has almost a half a second on Ron Hornaday, and our second caution has come out. This time it's the 31 into the wall, so problems for James Busher.
Tough break for James. Always so competitive. If we can take a look.
Oh, that's just a case where that truck started pushing with him a little bit in the center of the turn, and he didn't let off the gas, and he ran out of room exiting. I think these guys feel like they got a little bit more room than they do have. And looks like Todd got a start where he can hang down on the inside of Kyle Busch. Going to race down into turn one side by side.
See if we can roll that thing down. Remember, all these guys up front on old tires. Todd has to chase it up the hill. Kyle's not going to get that spot.
A little bit of a wobble out of Bodine. Behind him, 4 wide. Battling for the 4th spot. And now it's Johnny Sauter that moves out in front.
How about Todd Bodine? Todd Bodine would love to get those 5 points.
Oh, sideways goes Todd Bodine. Can he save it right in front of Austin Dillon? Todd Bodine slides into the grass.
Hold it right there.
No contact made. How about that move coming out of 4?
Austin Dillon is the one I want to look at. How he got through there without running over the top of Tom Bodine, I don't know. He was right there.
Todd Bodine running so strong.
To give him that spot when he drove around the outside of him, it just pulled it back and around. Something flew off of Todd's truck. You think maybe it was one of the Romeo windows?
There's the triangular windows just behind the cab of the truck.
Hey, let's look at Skinner here. There's almost 2 wrecks at once. He gets into Shelby Howard, or Boyd's getting into him. You could see it already locked up the brakes. He thought he was going to crash. He's still crashing, but he's able to save the truck. And just right ahead of him, in the middle of all that, he had to figure out how to get around Tom Bodine, who was spinning off turn 4.
An incredible job by all those drivers to not have any more damage than they had. This is what Stacy Compton saw in his onboard camera. That Skinner, they're trying to chase his truck. Now he sees nothing but smoke when Tom Bodine goes down across the racetrack.
When that smoke is like that, Phil, Stacy Compton is relying heavily on his spotter to tell him which way to go. He can't see anything. We can see better than he can.
What, you see that? You see something like fly off of that truck right there? That's part of the back of that truck. There's a decal on that truck.
It's like the bed.
Is that where the oil cooler is back there? That there's a panel.
Tank. There's an oil tank
back there, and I believe that.
Listen to this now. Listen.
Look at Austin Dillon barely sneaking by. And you know what was so impressive about Austin Dillon's move? He's turning. You know, he's racing his truck as hard as he can. Now all of a sudden he's got to make evasive action. Even though he's got it all loaded up in the middle of the corner, he was able to calmly sort his way around the spinning. That puts Jay up to the 9th spot.
Shelby Howard also coming in, and problems for the 6 of Carl Long. He slides, looking like he was coming onto pit road. No caution. We stay green.
I think the officials, the officials will watch that. If he gets that truck refired, he knows the field's on the other side of the racetrack. Pretty hard with, looked like John Jackson maybe in the 72 truck. Don't know if there was any contact. Carl does a nice job of keeping that truck out of the inside wall.
Locked it down. This is Jeffrey Earnhardt's view.
There we are right there. I think there was some contact. Looked like Carl may have got into John Jackson a little bit.
Oh, and now we have trouble. The wall. Is that John Jackson?
No, I think that's a 0-1. That's 82. Patty Rodenbach.
Patty Rodenbach. So hard.
Same tires for the rest of the race. Oh, he just got sliding up the hill and hit Stacy Compton. Did you see Stacy?
And Stacy saved that.
How did he save that?
I said, well, we're gonna lose him out of our picture, crashing, and then he didn't crash.
Look how sideways Stacy is.
Completely sideways, and doesn't even hit the outside wall.
Did you see him with the gas wide open too? He had that thing spinning.
Listen to this, Michael. Let's listen to Stacy Compton. And that's how you keep him backing into the outside wall and spinning out.
And you heard him too, guys. He didn't just slam that gas down. He was working it.
Feathering it. That was really impressive.
Sounded like a top.
We'll see the white flag. It's one more time around Kentucky Speedway. Can he hang on? Does he have enough fuel? Johnny Sauter just 7 seconds back from Todd Bodine.
If that thing burps, Johnny Sauter's going to be there in a flash.
Bodine down the back stretch. He doesn't look as though he's slowing down. Can he make it? Another half lap at Kentucky. So good on the mile-and-a-half racetracks, but he has never won at this racetrack. Coming through 3 and 4 and out of 4. Todd Bodine's going to win at Kentucky.
I tell you, he had a great
pain that young man has to be in. Got hit yesterday by a K&N Pro Series East car when he went across the pit road wall. We see Dr. Neuenberger up on the, well, Donnie's having some troubles. He's the first one onto the track for qualifying and can't get out of turn number 4. He slides sideways.
We talked about how tough that fourth turn is, but that wasn't exactly an example of what we're going to see as these fast trucks get going. He just pushes up, and next thing you know, he is not in control of that truck anymore, Phil. He's just hoping those tires will stick well enough to get it going straight, and they didn't quite do it.
He really did a great job not hitting anything because he was so close to the wall. We haven't seen any.
They want to settle it on lap 2. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick racing hard. We've got James Buescher back there in 3rd.
Oh, we got trouble.
Carmichael into the wall. If anybody needed good luck, it was Ricky Carmichael, and it doesn't look like it's happening for him again today.
A lot of damage to the left side of that truck. You see the left front tire looks to be askew on that monster Chevrolet.
Yeah, that's
guys, get ready here. You see the hammers and everything we need on the.
See if we can figure out if that's what he was trying to do again. Oh no, actually he's up on the high side that time through.
It looked like he was by himself. There could have been some contact prior to us getting a view of him. Look right side of your screen. It looks like he's all by himself. He was following the 51 truck of Eric Almirola.
See if we can take a look from Matt Crafton's onboard. Oh yeah, what a great view, guys. He just got loose entering the corner. You know, we talked about how tough these things are to drive for a lap or two till you get your tires. Is in the middle of this mess. You can see Austin Dillon locks up his brakes. Almirola runs into the back of Peters, and for a second, looked like Skinner thought, I think 4 wide will work here. Luckily for everybody on the track, he changed his mind.
There's another view. You see Austin lock up his left front. When he did, Timothy Peters couldn't go, and then they all just split him. And
sideways, he has to check up and get back behind Almirola.
Thought for a moment that may open the door.
Oh, around goes Jason White. Around. The 23 of Jason White goes around. Smoke on the back stretch.
You're clear. Keep it rolling. Didn't hit nothing, guys. We spun off the 2.
And that will bring out our 3rd caution.
That caution is a welcome one for Bobby Hamilton Jr. Bobby had raced his way around Mike Skinner and up into the 13th spot.
Jason White was running 15th when this happened.
Look, he's all the way off the track down on the apron. Totally off the track on the apron, just trying to get that truck to turn, get him some bite down there so he can make that pass, and it just got away from him.
Did a nice job not making any contact with the 81 of David Starr, who was on his outside, and then kept it out of the inside wall as well.
Let's see what Mario sees.
See Jason, all 4 tires for a moment down on the apron, Mikey.
And that works, Phil. You can get by with that, but you just have to know your truck. And his truck was obviously, we just restarted, and so he didn't quite know what he had yet. Adam.
Running in the 11th spot, at least for Todd Bodine, David Starr.
Oh, he's leaning on him.
Goes David Starr.
Donnie Lee just turned David Starr around.
Mansfield.
Now you see those 2 up front, side by side about every lap, but when you get, the deeper you get in the pack, the more difficult it seems it is for people to run side by side.
So David Starr gets straightened back out as we're under our 4th caution from New Hampshire.
Todd bounced off David a little bit entering the corner, took David's rhythm away, and then Donnie just had a run on the inside, got loose sideways, and bumped his way into David Starr.
Didn't look like David made a whole lot of contact with the outside wall. Here's another look right here. Donnie was committed to the bottom. David didn't leave him a lot of room, but he left him a lane down there, as you mentioned, Michael. When Donnie got a little bit loose, he needed a little bit more room, and unfortunately, David paid the price.
I think David's truck isn't bad enough to hurt anything. Watch Todd. He bounces off Starr in the first place. See what a gap David had? Todd roughed him up a little bit on entry, and Donnie Lee, that opened the door for Donnie. And Donnie got sideways and got into him. Jason White's had an adventurous few laps. You see him just barely squeezing to the inside.
He and Mike Skinner both getting by.
Let's watch this battle down into turn 1. David's just minding his own business up on the outside. Eventually, though, he's going to have to make a left, Phil. And he can't. Todd just kind of roughed him out a little bit.
Todd didn't want him to make that left as soon as David felt like he needed to. And then Donnie Leah comes along to the inside. They make some contact. Todd Bodine, okay, so they let him go.
See how it affects the handling of the race truck. Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch with another good restart. Let's see if Harvick can hold on to that inside line.
don't you know at some point you're going to say side by side?
There's a good possibility. Harvick falls back to second, and they slow down once again. Caution has come out. We've got problems in turn number 1. That's Eddie McDonald. Eddie had mentioned before the race what they wanted to do was get through this race without a problem with that truck so that they could continue on and maybe make another.
Got a caution.
And with 17 to go, we have our 7th caution.
Mike Harmon.
The Harmonator gets around.
The Harmonator had a strong run in qualifying. I mean, he's one of our trucks that went early, and he put down a lap that stood on the pole for 4 or 5 trucks, and is having a.
See if we can take a look at what happened to the Harmonator.
Down on the bottom of another truck. Looks like maybe got loose as he tried to work underneath the 06 truck. Tim Bainey Jr. He got together a little bit. Hornaday's truck is not performing like it was before this caution. I wonder if he was involved in the Mike Harmon spin. You know, Harmon spun out. Hornaday was in that end of the racetrack. Oh,
contact!
Trouble.
Contact once again, and now around goes Hornaday. Oh, unfortunate for the 31 of Buescher. He'll have to go through another restart.
Yeah, with somebody like Kyle Busch up beside him for this restart.
8th caution, this time for the 33 of Hornaday. The guys know they've got a great truck, but they're going to have a great driver they're going to have to beat to win this race.
Didn't you feel it coming though? This thing has been so dramatic with the Busch and Harvick side by side all day long, and then James Buescher thinking he's just going to slip in there and steal it from these guys. It's not going to be that easy.
Not so. All race would be right behind him for the restart.
Well, he's going to take the outside, I'm sure. You see Timothy Peters gets loose getting into the corner and just gets on Hornaday and can't get away from him.
You saw his tires turn way to the right there. He got so loose, he made the contact. Matt Crafton was able to drive by, but unfortunately for Ron Hornaday into the outside wall. Here's another view. Watch Tim at the back of Timothy's truck. Then he has to use some more racetrack, and when he did, that's where Ron Hornaday happened to be sitting.
Yeah, and it blew out Ron's tire, and he didn't have a chance. Even if he could have saved it from the contact when that left rear tire blew out. Watch you see this tire just blow out, and that just sends Hornaday around in a hurry.
Matt Crafton made the pass while that all happens. Buescher on the outside, Kyle Busch on the inside, back in the gas, green flag in the air. Buescher has a great restart as he goes into turn number 1. Can he clear him and hold on to him? Here comes Kyle Busch battling back. Buescher back up the racetrack, side by side, and Kyle Busch has the lead down the backstretch.
Into the outside wall, Kyle Busch.
Here comes Kevin Harvick, though. Harvick is able to work back up and battle for second now.
Kyle Busch cut James Buescher off. It put Busch into the wall, but he's still got the lead, Phil.
Coming out of 4, white flag goes in the air, 1 to go. Kyle Busch, James Buescher, and Kevin Harvick. 1, 2, 3.
I thought that maybe Kyle Busch would have some damage from bouncing off the wall. It doesn't look like it's up to slow him down much. You can see the damage on the right side.
He's got white concrete all in his wheels and on his tires down the side of the truck, but he's driving away with the win.
Wrecking behind him is the 81 of David Starr. That will bring out
no caution.
The checkered so far. As they come in at turn number 4, Kyle Busch is going to win in New Hampshire. 21st career win for Kyle Busch. How about that finish?
Way to go, guys. Heck of a team effort right there, boys. KB.
It took that long just to get going, and I knew if we were going to have a race with late cautions, it was going to be a pain in the butt. But I can't thank Toyota again, enough. And Trax is flexible.
Todd Bodine.
He's got that spot. That just shows you how strong that truck is. We know how difficult it is to complete passes down on the bottom.
Problem on the racetrack. The 47 of Jeffrey Earnhardt gets turned around.
Narain Karthikeyan also gets turned around. Great job by Rick Crawford avoiding that situation.
Look at all that mess. They're still trying to dodge each other over there.
Yeah, Jeffrey Earnhardt came down from the wall, and a lot of trucks still dodging to make sure they didn't make contact, but he's got a left front tire down on that 47.
Yeah, they're all 4 flat spotted too. They're going to be a mess. We saw the smoke from him as he is spinning around. So he'll have 4 tires, but
our top 5.
See, Jeffrey Earnhardt has already spun down off the racetrack. Now he slides back up. It looked like Narain, watch Rick Crawford now, just barely miss the 47 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Now watch Earnhardt turn hard left, and that made some trucks that were getting there really late have to make some crazy moves.
Looked like there was a chicane in the backstretch there.
Watch this Earnhardt truck. You could see Narain was just up high trying to miss. Look at Rick Crawford. Now watch this truck of the 47. Holy cow.
That was, wow. Is that David Starr maybe that just barely missed him?
Very close call for, it looked like David Starr. Wild one. Jason White has to avoid going through the smoke coming out of turn number 2. We'll be back. More racing here on Speed. Stay with us.
Yeah, it's a little early in the race. I'm all for racing and racing hard, but we saw Skinner.
Oh, and almost around goes the 5 of Skinner. Sauter doesn't back off. He stays in the back bumper of the 5. It gets airborne.
That's tore that truck all to pieces, Phil.
Yeah, it just folded that splitter right up underneath that truck. Looked like Johnny Sauter got into him a little bit and then just looked like he never turned him loose.
If he had just backed off the gas, maybe Skinner did an amazing job keeping that thing. These guys were probably, Jason was getting on their nerves a little bit. He put these two in this position. Watch Mike gets sideways and saves it, but then Johnny just doesn't let him go.
And right here, he goes airborne.
Oh, that looked like Kyle Busch qualifying one day, remember?
Yes. So a lot of damage to the front end of the 5. We see it once again. 13 in the 5 coming off of turn 4.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look at the damage to that truck, too.
Lucky he didn't bounce back out in the middle of all that traffic. Did a good job of saving that thing to start with.
This is what Todd Bodine saw with his onboard. He just backed off for a minute. When Skinner went to the left, Todd got right back in the throttle.
You know, it might be a little one.
That hurt. I'm older than that.
Todd Bodine's running 3rd.
Oh, Narain Karthikeyan into the wall. That will bring out our 6th caution as the flag flies now. Into turn 3 was where Narain Karthikeyan got into the wall. Now he makes his way on to.
Well, he slides up in front of David. In fact, all the way up to the wall. And you're right, Phil. The reason why he wrecked the second time was that right there. Put that right front fender down on that tire, and it just blew out.
Yeah, he rode around for another half, 3/4 of a lap, and then the other end of the racetrack are actually going in turn number 3. Watch this now. You see the tire goes down. Nothing he could do at that point. That was hard enough contact on that first incident, Michael, that I think he probably should have been directed to pit road.
Immediately. We saw smoke, and it just anytime you hit it that hard, man, you're not going to be able to survive that. Now they've got bigger problems. It's going to take a baseball bat to get the tire.
White flag in the air. Austin Dillon will receive it. He has a mile and a half to go from Las Vegas.
What an outstanding job this young man has done, really, this entire season, but just may, if he can go another half a lap, put win number 2 in the books.
Man, that run he had last week in Loudon, being able to rebound from a truck he didn't like all the way to a top 5 finish, and that's propelled him here. What do we got off turn 4? We
got a spinner off of 4.
Spinner off turn number 4. That's where Austin Dillon is coming through. He slows as that truck clears him, and the checkered flag will fly. Austin Dillon wins in Vegas.
It's a good thing he had that big lead, Phil.
Sure is, because he had to slow down for Mario Gosselin.
In the 12 was the one who spun off of turn number 4. Sauter coming home.
Guys all the way in the back, and you see a heck of a show like we saw over at Bristol. That was amazing.
Problems early on. The 24 of Cody Kambisny gets turned around.
I'm glad you got Cody first.
We were actually talking with Jim Cassidy earlier, and he said, I'm pretty sure that's the way it's pronounced. I said, okay.
During that first practice session as well, that's what we were talking about. I'm watching him. He gets a little bit free right in the middle of 3 and 4. Does a nice job keeping that truck off that inside wall.
Yeah, that's just his 2nd lap around the track this session. You see it getting sideways, and we talked, you know, it takes a few laps to get these tires warmed up so the guys can really get aggressive. And Cody just doesn't know that yet. You know, he's making a first start here, and so he's learning.
And get this truck so it can be good on a long, long run. We see Chris Lafferty is around in the corner over in turn number 3.
He might have stayed off the wall that time. That's about exactly where he got into the wall in that first practice session. You saw.
See, we can see him enter in turn 3. Just gets in hot. Looks like never really hit the groove. Was up high on entry and just stops just short of the wall. He wasn't as fortunate in the first practice, was he?
Yeah, Michael, this is that first one I hear. It looks going to look very similar. Drives down in turn number 3.
Just getting into the corner a little high. He needs to be over to the left a little bit more. This time he just makes a little bit of contact with the wall. You can see it buckles up the bed there.
Yeah. Look how much. That with Kevin Harvick's truck, that was from qualifying yesterday. They didn't fix it because if they would have fixed it, we have problems in the race.
Goes around in the 92. That is in turn number 4. Dennis Setzer brings out our first caution.
Caution flies. Setzer's used to coming from the back, though. He won this race from like 45th or like somewhere crazy.
Way back.
Take a look.
That's Matt Lofton on the inside right there. Normally in a situation like that, the inside truck will bounce off the curb. That time they just were fighting for that position. I didn't see where Matt got into the curb at all.
No, and I don't think Dennis deserved to be turned around there.
Yeah, Matt actually came off the curb a little bit, did not hit it in this thing.
Clay Greenfield in that 46 slow on the racetrack.
Yeah, you know, Rick,
how about Austin Dillon looking at the inside of Justin Laughlin? We've got the 24 around one more time. That's Cody Conbency. Again, he was a couple laps down. He's what happened with the 24.
A little contact with the 0-1.
Yeah, she does a nice
Angela Cope.
Angela did a great job saving that truck. Looked like maybe Cody was down on the
pit stop for the day.
He'll have the freshest tires of those. I believe these guys will look at pitting again, Phil, don't you?
Most got to spin on the racetrack.
Caution.
0-1 again, Angela Cope in 3 and 4.
I mean, unless we just have an unordinary amount of caution flag laps between now and say lap 120 or 30, I believe these guys might think about coming.
It up a little bit.
Last time she was on the curb. This time she had some help going around there. That was the 46 of Greenfield that got into the back of Angela Cope. She goes around in turn 3 and 4. Gap now on Johnny Sauter.
Got a wreck down in 1 and 2.
Into the wall, the 97 of Matt Lofton in 1 and 2. He goes sideways up against the wall, pointed the wrong direction, and that brings out our 5th caution.
Now this is going to be Johnny Sauter's opportunity to come down pit road. They wanted to go around 70. Like, is the left rear tire down on that truck, Michael?
We got left rear flat.
Yeah, left rear flat.
Yep, sure enough. Tire is completely down and off the wheel. And around he goes. Kevin Harvick around. Will the caution come out? They're holding it. They're not bringing the caution out yet to see if he gets turned around. 13 of Johnny Sauter spins as well as Ryan Segan. The 39 goes up the track, and the yellow flag will now come out.
Kevin Harvick did not get out in front of the 30th Talladega.
But will he be the lucky dog? Because
goes down in the corner, fighting to maintain control. He does a good job with that flat left rear tire. He's not going to spin till they get back around to the next time around in 3 and 4.
Austin Dillon was all over his back bumper, and Harvick still able to keep it straight, even with the contact of the 39. But then coming into 3 and 4, just can't keep it straight any longer.
And this race, you can't hide at this racetrack. Obviously, Kevin Harvick having a problem, but the racetrack is so narrow, there's nothing he can do about it.
And while that was taking place in 3 and 4, and we were thinking a caution may come out, this was happening in turn number 1.
James Busher on the inside of Johnny Sauter, and Johnny tried to close the door on James, and he hits the wall hard. We talk about people giving and taking for a little while here at Martinsville. That's over now.
Yeah, we're inside of 50 laps to go. The giving is over. The taking is coming.
There was a little bit of curve action, it looked like, for James Busher, and out into the 13 he went.
That's a rough couple of laps for the 39, wasn't it? He was up in the middle of that. He was up in the middle of Kevin Harvick's mess too.
Here's Kevin's on board.
You can see finally Ryan Sieg being able to slip by Kevin Harvick, only to go down there and see another crash.
And Kevin, with that left rear tire down, could not maintain control, but just almost got that truck fired back in front of the leader. And you can see him, he didn't waste any time getting that truck refired. Just wasn't able to get
on at Martinsville. Will that change today? Green flag back in the air, 37 laps remaining.
Ron Hornaday 3 wide.
Hornaday tries to get on the inside of the 30, can't do it. Kyle Busch still running strong on the outside of Todd Bodine.
Well, what a mess Ron Hornaday. We got trouble in the middle of the back.
17 of Timothy Peters gets into the wall, and debris flying off.
Oh, and now he's into the outside wall.
And again, he gets into the outside wall, having problems with that truck, and the caution will come out for the 8th time.
Todd Bodine held the lead by just about 1 and 2. He gets pushed up into the rubber, the loose stuff.
Watch when Ron Hornaday, when he went to the inside and then tried to get back in line, then that caused all these problems. Everyone trying to go every which way. There's some contact right there between the 3 of Austin Dillon and looked like maybe the 7 of Justin Lofton. And then unfortunately for Timothy Peters, he got into Matt Crafton as well.
There was debris off of another truck, maybe the 3. Let's take another look.
Another view from another angle. See, look at all the problems it causes when Ron Hornaday tries to get back in line.
Now watch, Timothy Peters just comes off the turn normally. Austin Dillon tried to make it 3 wide. There wasn't room.
Well, he was side by side with Stacy Compton already.
Man, that's just a tough situation for Timothy Peters to run so well all day long, and then circumstances just put him in the wall. I don't know what he could have done differently.
I don't either. Look at 4 wide there. They end up 4 wide. Timothy Peters just trying to get that truck righted. Then he and Matt Crafton make a little contact, and that turned him into the outside wall in turn 3.
Remember, Timothy Peters starting this season off looking very impressive. We thought Timothy Peters might be battling for a championship, but over the last 4 races, 2 of those he finished up in the 20s, and then he fell from 3rd to 5th.
Watch Austin Dillon try to squeeze in this hole. He's got a truck on his inside and outside. Unfortunately, the big loser in that mess was Timothy Peters.
Now than they did in the middle stages, but I want to go back to something we pointed out prior to the green flag today, and now we have trouble on track. Austin Dillon around.
Austin Dillon
hold it a minute.
backs it up to the turn 2 wall.
I'll see when to go.
And the caution comes out once again. It's the 9th time the caution has come out at Martinsville for the
over there.
See what happens down here. There's Austin Dillon as he drives down the corner.
Oh,
Jason Bowles was in a battle with Matt Crafton. Matt able to get in front of him. Jason went back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Austin had already committed, and they make a little contact. Here it is again going down into turn number 1.
and this is a big break for Kevin Harvick. He'll get our Aaron's lucky dog and back on the lead lap. We know he's got some fresh tires. Does he have time to get up there and race for a top 5 finish?
James Busher riding along with him. That's what he saw just in front of him.
That just circumstances there. You know, those 2 trucks battling ahead of Austin, and it just cut his momentum off, and around he went.
And remember, Austin had already committed to driving in the corner as hard as he could drive in the corner. He did not know that the Johnny Sauter got the black flag with a right cross, which means they pulled his scorecard.
Oh, and into the back of the 13 is the 7 of Justin Lofton.
Wow.
The 13 trying to get on the pit road, and a lot of
we got
to
a
the left rear.
John Along and Kevin Harvick both go around down in turn 3 and 4. There's
And the caution
flag.
will come out again. Under 9 laps of racing remaining, the caution comes out for the 10th time.
Johnny Sauter was trying to get.
There's a rear bumper bar for Kevin Harvick.
It's like he thinks.
And not happy with Justin Lofton now.
Kevin will have to come to pit road to take that bumper bar off, but because he was Aaron's lucky dog.
Now you see Sauter is brake checking Lofton a little bit here, just trying to get him to rub that piece of his truck off the back so he doesn't have to pit.
And
Justin finally gets enough of it
and rides right up the back of it.
And I guess that when he comes back on the track, he must hit Harvick. You can see they go into the corner side by side, hits Harvick and spins him around.
Here's another view. Lofton trying to get by on the inside and just drives up over the left rear tire on that 13 truck.
Good view of Rodney Adkins there on the back of that truck.
How about great camera work too by our guys? They always do a spectacular job, and we appreciate it every week.
Here's Kevin Harvick now, right? No, this is James Busher right behind this group. He's going to have plenty of room to get by on the outside.
Now you can see what happens to Harv.
Yeah, here's Austin Dillon.
7 truck runs into Harvick and spins him around.
And that's why Kevin was upset with the 7 truck of Justin Lofton.
I think Austin Dillon's upset with him too since he got involved with it.
Johnny Sauter already on pit road, and there's Johanna Long gets turned around there.
Wow, what a great job she's done again today. She was running in the 19th spot before that spin.
They outside, side by side. Hornaday actually has the lead.
Hornaday, the leader at the stripe as they cross, and Hornaday powers it while we've got the 24 around once again. That's Cody Kembensi. And the caution not out yet.
Oh man, we don't need a caution.
Caution comes out now as the leaders come by. Cody Kembensi.
Who's the leader?
I'm thinking
grandfather clock.
Hornaday is proving everyone wrong. This is what caused the caution to come out.
Got a spinner.
Again, Cody Kembensi gets turned around and backs. Well, he has reverse now. We see that. Backs it over the curb. Out in turn number 1. We're about to find out as the green flag's back in the air. A great restart for Hornaday. Up the racetrack goes Kyle Busch in 1 and 2. Todd Bodine has his nose underneath the 18 until they go down the backstretch. Hornaday with a one-truck lead as they come through 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4. White flag goes in the air. The next time by, it will be official. Hornaday and Kyle Busch, 1 and 2.
Right now, Hornaday with a 2-truck length lead. It looks like it's all his.
Ron Hornaday looking for his first ever win at Martinsville Speedway. Will he hold on? Coming out of turn number 4.
I won Martinsville.
Hornaday, yes, you did win Martinsville.
How about that? Did you hear Hornaday when he came off turn 4?
How about Martinsville? How about the 7?
The 7 and the 2 are
not happy with the 31.
No, everybody's mad except Hornaday.
Well, the 2 is mad at the 7, and the 7 is mad at the 31.
Take a look at this, though. They park right next to each other. Harvick decides, I'm not happy with the 7, so he rams into the back of him.
It was very, very slight contact, and you can see the damage it did to
Bobby Hamilton in 2005. The truck is called Freak. It's run more super speedway races than any other chassis, and Chris Fontaine's hoping to hang on for a good finish.
Oh, trouble. And we got problems. Jeffrey Earnhardt slides. He had contact, slides in front of a few trucks.
Takes them in the wall with him.
He got Justin Lofton with him in the 7. They go into the wall, and the caution flag comes out on lap 23.
They caught up to a pack that was not running on the lead, that was actually getting lapped. And it really created a mess when you had the disparity in speed going on.
Yeah, they were really mixed up in the tri-oval. It just took them all the way down to turn 1.
Take it to the garage. Take it to the garage. God dang it.
Discipline.
You can see them lapping some trucks there. Earnhardt goes into a hole. Oh, man. He and Max just made some contact. And you see Justin Lofton absolutely nowhere to go.
Looked like Max forced him down into the 93 of Mike Garvey. There's another view.
You can see this is where they get in trouble exiting the tri-oval. Jeffrey's going through a hole there that's plenty big for him to get through right at this moment, but then right there the hole closes.
His truck was wiggling a little bit, and
looked like
he and Max came together.
Didn't look like he was 100% comfortable going up in that hole, but he was up in there, and then
sometimes you can get sucked into that hole by the draft,
and also sucked around when you get inside of it. Move your truck all over the place. Check out the job the 53 truck here of Hobgood does. Pauses, waits, watches, and then calmly goes to the bottom.
Yeah, headed right toward it. If he'd have locked the brakes up, he'd have run right into him. Good job by Justin.
If Justin had done anything other than just be patient, he would have been crashed, but he does a wonderful job.
I think Grant Enfinger was very fortunate, too, when the 6 turned around sideways, almost backed into him. Grant was able to get by on the outside.
The thing that Justin in this black truck does that's even more impressive, he can't see anything. I mean, the smoke is just blinding him right here at this moment, but yet he's calm.
We're riding along now with the 6 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
See if we can see what he's... Off the gas a little bit on it. Oh, wow. Needed a little more room, Phil.
Yeah, they just squeezed him in on him there from both ends. He didn't have a whole lot of room between Max on the outside and the 93 of Mike Garvey on the inside.
There's going on now, and Hornaday's service will be complete, and I believe Ken Schrader will be leaving pit road with him.
More contact. We're going to have problems coming onto pit road. Max Pappas sliding sideways. He gets into the inside wall.
2 laps in a row, Michael. We can't manage to come down pit road.
I just don't understand it.
Fun and hit the wall.
A lot of damage to the front of the 9 truck of Max Pappas. His day is done. Fluid running out from underneath that. Jennifer Jo Cobb ran out of fuel.
He got up off the bottom. He's got a pit and just turns across Max.
You know, the problem, Max had plenty of room down there.
Just make a left.
Turn left. The double yellow line is racing. It doesn't say you can't go below the double yellow line to make a pit stop, because you have to go below it.
You see, Jennifer Jo's not a part of the problem. That's way before they get to coming off pit road. It looked like Max, I don't know where he was going, but it didn't work because of the combination of where Craig Ghost was going. That's what's so frustrating to sit here and watch. That's the why. You've got more room to operate down there than you do anywhere on the whole circuit, but yet we can't work out making it to pit road without a problem. And like you said, Phil, it happens every year. And this time it's happened every lap we've tried to pit.
Sure has. You know, Jason White has damage. He ran in the back of Ty Bodine. Todd has damage. Ray reported front and rear. I believe I would put some material instead of that barrel bound on the front of that 30 truck of Todd Bodine.
He doesn't want to speed on pit road. There's damage to the back of the 3 of Austin Dillon.
That's bump drafting. That's the result of bump drafting right there. Earlier, Michael, with that accident we had go over in turn number 1. See the black truck. He's on the inside. He's a lap down. Chris Fontaine makes contact with him.
I just need a little space is all I need, guys. And he didn't get it. But look at this save he makes. Keeps the thing heading the right direction. Lets off the brake just at the right time. Gets it rolling in the right direction.
Right along with Austin Dillon.
Watch this up ahead. See that black truck turns down to the inside. Austin says, I wonder where he's going to go. I know he's coming back up the racetrack at some point. Fortunately for
Eric Almirola trying to hang on.
Remember, he pushed Kyle Busch to the win here last year. Kyle Busch was in the truck he's driving. Oh, there they go.
Hornaday goes around. The Ray Carthagena almost upside down, and he does go on his foot as Ron Hornaday.
There just wasn't any way.
Hornaday rolls again in turn number 1.
You said it, Michael.
That started too soon, Phil. They were doing that for 25 laps.
See Ron moving around inside of that truck.
Trying to get free from the 33. You see the movement.
I'm sure NASCAR will red flag this race here.
Talk to us, Ron.
Safety crews immediately to him.
Here comes Todd Bodine to check on Ron.
He clicked the bike. He's all right.
Feel good. I saw him moving around all over the place to see what caused this to start.
Looked like the Todd got pushed by the 95 of Grant Enfinger, and it turned him into the truck on the inside of him. And then you see Ron Hornaday going upside down.
Grant was just doing what he saw there. Ooh, wow, look at that hit late by Todd. Grant was just doing what he'd seen everyone else do. A rookie at this. First start.
Watch the red truck. He's going to push Todd Bodine, and it's going to turn Todd sideways right there into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Mike gets into the 33 of Hornaday.
Just too big of a push. Look at the job that Matt Crafton does, sneaking around the outside.
And when these trucks get backwards, obviously we talked earlier about the spoiler being at 65 degrees. When they go backwards, it lifts that back into that truck of Hornaday up and onto its top it goes.
Plus, he was not only backwards, he's getting pushed by Mike Skinner too, so I'm sure that helped ramp that truck up in the air. But as you see the trucks going out of the screen to the left, all those guys are getting ready to do it all over again.
The truck, they opted to turn it back over so that he could climb out, and we're seeing him now climbing out of that 33. That is a great, the first person to get to Ron Hornaday was his competitor, but good friend Todd Bodine. This is the big one. Just after they cross the stripe, multiple trucks involved, and Hornaday on his roof. Almirola still scored as your race leader on the red flag condition. Hornaday, Carthagena, and Grant Enfinger. Let's look again.
The 95 pulls in behind Todd Bodine to give him a push, and it turns Todd sideways into the 5 of Mike Skinner.
How many times have we seen drivers with lots of experience racing these trucks make that mistake? Grant Enfinger with limited experience, racing for the win here late in the going, just a little over aggressive, too excited, pushed Todd too hard at the wrong spot. They're just not quite even straight yet at that point, or just getting straight, but that hit on the back of the 30 truck caused this big mess. Look at Crafton slipping through on the outside. What a great move. Other guys, James Busher, Austin Dillon, right through the middle of that crash.
Incredible action here at Talladega. He was right between the tri-oval and the start-finish line, as you mentioned, not quite straight. Maybe he waits another 100 feet. He may have been straight, but that still may not have kept that truck from turning sideways.
It was a big enough hit. That might have happened anywhere.
One of the hardest things to comprehend is they're doing 190 miles an hour when all of this is happening.
You know what? It's not hard for Ron Hornaday to comprehend that. His truck went flying through the air because of all that speed. I think that's what, as you watch on TV and having done this before, Phil, it's hard to explain to people how difficult this is and how hard it is not to have this happen. That's why I got so...
White flag. 1 lap of racing to go from Talladega.
1 lap, bud. Watch your mirrors.
Austin Dillon, he was on the outside. Does he get any help? No. They're going to hang him out.
He got rooted out too. When will Kyle Busch make his move on Almirola? How does he make his move?
Or will he make his move? Almirola pushed him to the win a year ago.
They were teammates. They're not now.
Still in line. Still in line.
He'll try to jump around that 51 truck.
down the back stretch, getting ready to come into turn number 3 for the final turn here at Talladega.
We got a long way to go to the start-finish line.
Almirola in front of Kyle Busch. Back behind him, Sauter.
Bring it to the checker. Bring it to the checker.
And the 88 of Matt Crafton. Are they going to make the move? Here comes Sauter looking to the inside. Almirola in front of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is going to move to the inside. It's a drag race. They're 3 wide at the stripe. It looked as though Kyle Busch may have outlasted Almirola 2/1000ths of a second.
Holy cow.
On the outside, Elliott Sadler. Green flag in the air. We're underway in Texas.
Oh, we're down in the grass and 3 wide already. Ricky Carmichael gets sideways going to turn 1.
Johanna Long had a very, very poor start. Guys had to try to avoid her just past the start-finish line.
Side by side down the backstretch. Kyle Busch on the inside, Sadler on the outside. Looks like he might be battling for that second spot now.
Ricky Carmichael showed Johanna he was really serious about this stuff. They threw the green flag. He was ready to go, and Johanna wasn't quite ready. See her sliding up to the top of the racetrack there. Somebody got in the wall off turn 4.
And problems. Johanna Long into the wall now. Sideways through 4 and into the wall she goes.
Yep.
Tough start for Johanna Long.
Yeah, she fell back several spots there, Phil, on the green flag, and
it just never came up to speed. It didn't look like on the initial start. A lot of trucks went by her. She may have had a tire go down because there were some trucks that made some contact with her.
A lot of experience. Looks like she's still trying to be on the gas right there. She probably didn't realize that tire was flat, Phil.
Yeah.
You know, she comes from short track, late model racing, and has only done this a few times, and she just knew she was loose. She just didn't know why, and then that tire finally blew out.
Looked like it was one of the Red Horse trucks that got into the wall you were talking about in front of this situation with Johanna.
Right along with Jennifer Jo Cobb on the Ford onboard. Take a look.
Oh, see how sideways she is, but she's still in the gas, guys.
She just about saved that thing. But.
Oh, what a great job by Jennifer. She slowed it down, watched that wreck develop, and then made a calm move to the inside.
Tough start to this one, Ray. That's Austin Dillon on pit road, and a lot of damage to the right front. Blew the right front tire, Ray.
Yeah, he came on the radio just about a half a lap ago and said this thing has gone crazy tight.
On the radio, as Ray was talking about, that he had a problem with the right front, and when that right front goes, he didn't make real hard contact with a wall, but that tire blowing out did all that damage.
Yeah, what about that explosion, that tire? It just blew the fenders off that truck. But you're right, Phil. They get a tire on it, get a fender glued back to the front, taped onto the front. He can keep racing this darn thing.
Yeah, you guys talked about that radio communication. Let's listen in to the conversation that took place between Austin and his spotter.
That's another view of that tire going down right there, and see all the sparks.
Austin was on it. He told him on the radio, I've got a real problem here. I'm going to have to pit. I think I heard his spotter say, well, you were tight here in the spring too, so just be chill.
Kyle Busch.
Oh, but you know, if I'm Kyle Busch, I'm looking up there and says, is that Valvoline truck right there in third that's coming up here?
Oh, problems back behind them. A couple trucks into the wall. Hornaday is involved in the 33. White truck, that's the 11 of Miguel Paludo that was involved. And now Hornaday gets into the side of the back of the 25 of Taylor Molson.
What was that all about?
I'm not sure exactly what that was all about, but Hornaday has considerable bit of damage.
Last week at Talladega on his roof.
Oh, Miguel Paludo hard into the wall.
Looked like a right front tire went on Miguel Paludo.
And Hornaday slowed down and moved up the track. And the 25 truck of Taylor Molson was on the inside of Hornaday and cut him off.
That pretty much explains why the 25 gets turned around right here as they went down in turn number 3.
Yeah, when we ask what happened there, well, refer back to what happened off turn 2, and that explains exactly like you said, Phil.
See previous three frames.
Watch right here. Hornaday sees the crash. He comes off the gas. Obviously, the 25 did not see what happened ahead of him. He was still in the gas. And you know, Phil, in Taylor Mossum's defense, you can't see through Hornaday's truck. He was up to the outside of Hornaday. Hornaday got off the gas. He didn't know why. His spotter hadn't keyed up yet and told him what happened, and he just ran out of room. Watch.
Taylor Molson hits the wall here. It bounces off the wall back to the 33.
Yeah, he tried to avoid Ron Hornaday. He ran into the wall trying to avoid Ron Hornaday, and Ron was looking up ahead, and he actually faded to the outside a little bit, and that's when they made the contact.
Ron didn't realize he had tried to avoid him. You could tell that.
Big hit there for the 11, though, sliding up the racetrack.
Did it blow a right front tire, Phil?
It looked like a right front tire went down or something broke in the right front suspension.
Look at these trucks scrambling to avoid that mess.
Jimmy Dick did a nice job.
Fourth caution has come out. Lance Fitton has problems getting through the turn, slides to the inside.
Avoided any contact, but he got out of whack.
I know a lot of these drivers and teams are breathing a sigh of relief. A lot of them were very, very close on having enough fuel to get. Here we are down in turn number 1. He's on the inside of the racetrack. He just starts to lose the back end, then corrects it, and then the second time the back end swings out. He does a nice job letting off the brake, trying to get the thing to go straight. Then he realizes that it's not going to go straight, and he locks the brakes up again. Stays out of that inside wall, Mike.
Looked like he was really slowed down. I don't understand what exactly happened. It almost looked like he had a flat tire, but all the tires look like they're up. Look at that. Very fortunate. Oh, the left rear is flat. That's what happened.
Sure
See it?
is. Yep. Here's Mike Skinner's onboard camera. There's Toyota onboard.
He says a little bit of a wiggle.
He doesn't have very far to go, and it's not going to take him long to get there.
White flag out. Final lap from Texas Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch looking to get to victory lane once again.
Johnny Sauter doing all he can do to try to catch that 18 truck.
Johnny's just saying, slip, Kyle. Do something. Give me a break. Give me something to hope for here. Look how close.
The 25-year-old from Las Vegas, Nevada, continues to rack up the numbers in the Camping World Truck Series. Here is career win number 23 for Kyle Busch.
There you go, boys. Good job. Way to go. Success.
Let's ride with Austin. Let's ride with Matt Crafton here. I want to hear his use of the throttle here.
Caution's out, turn 4. Caution's out, turn 4.
Chris Lafferty into the wall.
Man.
Oh, we heard from Chris before the show in the setup with Chris Devoda that it's tough for him to make. Kind of a weird place to hit, Phil. Sure he got contact.
Yeah. Had a little help right there from behind. That might be Steve Park. Is that Steve Park in the 46 truck?
I couldn't tell, could you?
Lafferty grabs that commitment cone.
There's no
right at the entrance.
No safer barrier there, so it really crunched Eric in the truck race. A great stop for those guys. Can't quite get around Kyle Busch. Gonna roll into the 4th spot right behind him.
Kyle Busch looks like he's going to be challenging for second here pretty soon. And problems in turn number 2. Ricky Carmichael involved, as is the 9 of Tom Hessert and the 25 of Taylor Malsom.
Looked like Taylor did a really neat job of just getting that truck stopped, and I don't think got any damage. I'm
not sure Taylor has much damage at all. We'll get a look at the right side. Very minimal damage there. There's Ricky. He's on the inside of Brad Sweet. He tries to stay off Brad, and around he goes.
Oh.
Actually, both of those trucks made a little more damage than maybe I thought initially.
Yeah, it wasn't. Malsom couldn't see what Hessert could see. Hessert got on the brakes, and Taylor wasn't able to react quite as quickly. But
watch this now. You see Taylor's going to gain on that 9 really quickly. You see the brakes are locked up on the 9 of Tom Hessert, but he had the 25 of Malsom pushing him into the 4 of Carmichael.
You know, I was just getting ready to say it. Don't take it for granted these guys can run down on the inside of another truck and not get out of control. It's just tough sledding down there. And that's what happened to Ricky. He was on the inside of another truck. His truck slid up, made contact, and around he went.
Jennifer Jo Cobb had this vantage point.
Boy, I bet she liked that vantage point. Everybody went to the right, she went left.
Nice job. Never panicked, just slowed down, touched the brake, didn't lock the brakes up, turned left and avoided it. The center and off the corner. Coming off turn number 4.
Yeah, that's my favorite turn on this track. If you can get your truck hooked up on, we got problems.
And that's the 72 of Caitlin
Caution
Shaw.
is out. Got a wreck over in 4. Caution is out. Wave them off here. Talk to us.
Talk to us. I want to know about some adjustments.
I think we want to come in now and make our
Shaw.
Trouble.
Maybe a little aggressive getting into that turn.
Looked like she might have had a brake issue because I think she was into that corner harder than she had seemed to be going in that corner before. She may have had some sort of a brake failure. Could have overheated the brakes as well.
It's pretty torn up.
A lot of damage along the way. A lot of damage to the 33 of Ron Hornaday. This just happening to bring out our 5th caution of the night.
We had a terrific battle going for the 4th spot. Austin Dillon was trying to get by Ron Hornaday. You've got Eric Almirola behind. Watch the 3 of Austin Dillon now. See him get loose, and he has to chase that truck up the hill to chase it, and makes contact with that left rear corner of Hornaday. Nothing Ron could do, and certainly wasn't intentional. Austin just got a little bit loose down there. Watch. You see his wheels are turned back to the right, and he has to chase it up the hill. When he does, he makes contact with that left rear and hard into the outside wall.
Did you see how much room Ron gave Austin getting down into turn 1? He was well off the side of the truck. We hear some of these guys down some of the drivers complaining, well, he was hanging on my right rear. He was hanging on my right rear. Well, Ron wasn't anywhere near his right rear. Austin just got loose getting down in the corner. And like you said, Phil, we talk about that a lot, but it's so hard. I think it just tells you how good these guys are 90% of the time. It's so hard to run down there underneath of another guy, and Austin had to get away from him.
And it seems like these trucks are more prone.
Mike Skinner on the outside.
He got a little sideways up off of 2. We have Norm Benning on the inside now. Is Skinner going to give David Starr room on the inside, or is he going to pitch him in behind him?
The white flag is in the air. Norm Benning, the block now for the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Wow, and then Austin Dillon gets the inside of Starr because of that move he tried to make.
Gotta be careful down there in the inside. Get loose down there.
And coming out of turn number 4 in just his 8th start in the Camping World Truck Series, Clint Boyer will win again.
That was fun.
There goes Eric Almirola.
But I can't win the race.
How about this side-by-side
got a race.
Battle for the lead once again. Peters up toward the wall. He's slow on the racetrack. And the caution has come out. Whoa, close call for Brad Sweet. So this is the 3rd caution of the night.
You're going to have to pry him back down pit road.
Looks like Peters cut a right front tire. See if we could, yeah, there it goes. You can see he's off the gas, dragging the front end.
I got to believe, Michael, there might have been some contact somewhere between he and another truck to cut that right front down. Being that quickly after they've been in the pits.
He had some scuffs on that right, or scuffed sheet metal on that right side, so you might be right.
I think he may have got into the wall at an earlier point. Obviously didn't there, or as you mentioned, maybe some contact with another truck.
Look at these guys trying to avoid the slow truck of Timothy Peters. They got together there.
Yeah, you can see a little damage on that right front fender, but
downforce to get around these turns. Watch, Johnny Sauter just tries to close a door that's not.
Just wasn't there. Just didn't have them cleared. Wasn't even close to having them cleared. I'm not even sure he was trying to pull up.
I don't think he really cared, to tell you the truth. I think he just went on up there. Maybe he'll lift.
You see, you're right. I think he does make more contact, but there is some smoke coming from that 18th right front tire. Watch this onboard of Kyle.
He just drives right on up there like he's not there. He just drives right on up there like he's not there.
Oh, and he blew a tire, Phil.
Yep. Caution flag
Caution has come out with just 30 laps of racing to go. Kyle Busch trying to clinch an owner's championship.
Hey, guys, only 2 trucks out of this race. This thing is not over.
How's your wheel?
He means.
Watch there. There's the 18 of Kyle Busch. He stays way up close to the wall, then the right front tire goes down. That's the good news, is he was already so close to the outside wall, he couldn't get any momentum to hit it.
I think he was expecting that, Phil. I think he knew he had a serious tire rub, and I think he was kind of expecting that.
Kyle into the wall.
Didn't sound all that serious. But they'll never make it.
They did.
They made it.
3 wide. Right through the middle.
Spinner on the backstretch.
Oh, good. We hit the good on there again.
Coming out of turn 4.
Pretty hard hit down here on the turn 4.
John Jackson, the 72 truck.
He hit the end of that pit wall, man. That was big.
Getting the red flag from NASCAR. We're seeing the window net come down. That's a great sign.
You won't. I mean, he knocked the heck out of the barrels on the end. Look at that. 15, 20 years ago.
And the racetracks with these safer barriers, obviously, you know, those barrels there at the end of that wall. See, they're running by himself, got a little bit loose. Ooh. As you mentioned, that was a great job by somebody avoiding him.
Yeah, that was the move of the day.
07 right there, it looked like.
John King.
John King.
John did his night's work right there, just keeping from crashing.
So the crews will go to work on Almirola.
Trying to get by Eric Almirola, trying to force the issue. Got a little bit loose, lost some air off that spoiler.
And here comes Elliott Sadler in the 2 truck. right around him. Ooh, Elliott's loose.
Elliott's going to go sideways.
He lost it.
Elliott running in the sixth position, brings the caution out with just 8 to go.
That's how loose that truck's been all night long, and he put it in the worst spot he could put it in.
On the
bottom.
front end, he's chasing that truck up the hill. Tries to turn left to keep it off Almirola. Does a great job saving that truck, but we're not done. He loses momentum. That's Johnny Sauter. Watch him now, because see the momentum he's lost. That allowed Todd and the 2 of Elliott Sadler to get up beside him.
But the 2 has been loose all night long. He goes in underneath these guys, and when he does, Sauter comes right back around and sucks him around.
You know what the 2 was saying, Elliott Sadler, when he dove to the bottom? He said, I don't want to do this. My truck's been terrible loose, but I don't have a choice.
I'm inside of 10 laps to go. I'm going to have to make something happen. Now I've got too good a run to back off.
You can see him chasing it up the hill, and he knew he was in trouble.
And Johnny gave him plenty of room. He moved almost all the way to the wall to give him some room.
23 trucks on the lead lap, Adam.
And guess who Ron Hornaday, the race leader, is getting advice from? How about his owner, Kevin Harvick? Harvick can't.
Kyle Busch has won 7 races this season. White flag goes in the air. 1.5 miles remaining in 2010.
What an incredible season that young man has had. First season as an owner.
He's going to win over 50% of the races that he starts.
And winning that owner's championship, it's a statement. He says, look, I got championship winning equipment. We put a driver in this truck next year. We get a good sponsor for him. We can win the driver and the owner's championship.
Year 1 championship right away. Way to go, boys.
Got a battle for second, looking like it's shaping up back there. Can Sauter make a move on Hornaday?
Kyle Busch wins the race in Homestead Miami Speedway. He clinches the owner's championship. Todd Bodine will be able to celebrate his championship